Certainly going to be a concern. As temperatures in the middle upper 50s in Roswell, rain showers possible today. And same in Carlsbad, Artesia down to 285 to 55 degree temperatures in Carlsbad, Hobbs and Loving in the middle 50s with a chance for showers. Rain will continue to increase in coverage and in intensity by tomorrow. Hobbs, Lovington with a high temperature near 60 degrees. For W105 FM, I'm meteorologist Ron Arberts.
Your country plays on W105.
Be in the Breakfast Club powered by Carlsbad Chevrolet. Online at carlsbadchevrolet.com. Text line at 877-396-W105. Brought to you by Amigo Machinery, your Kubota dealer. Online at amigo-machinery.com. Question of the day brought to you by Lovington Auto Supply, your Napa dealer. And YouTube, Rumble, and Facebook video feed brought to you by Desert Sand Water Well. Online at desertsandsnm.com.
It's a No Taylor Talk Tuesday.
No Taylor Talk Tuesday.
We won't talk about Taylor Swift all day today.
Never, ever, ever. No matter what happens,
It's a No Taylor Talk Tuesday. Enjoy.
God bless America for that. That's for sure. No Taylor Talk Tuesday.
You're welcome. I went and found that one specifically.
Yeah, whoever came up with that, God bless you. My. Thank you. All of a sudden, she's Tom's girl. Yeah. Now that she has a girlfriend, she's off the market. Yeah, I like them when they're like married. That way, no pressures on me at all. At all. Today is Gingerbread House Day, International Sound Check Day. Check, check. Mic one. Check, check. National 12-Hour Fresh Breath Day. Ambrosia Day. Ding-a-ling Day. What the hell's going on with the ding-a-ling? And the Poinsettia Day. Okay. Louisiana Poinsettia. What's the correct way of saying it?
Poinsettias.
No, you said it right.
Poinsettias. There's no T in it.
It's poinsettia.
Well, I added one.
There's two T's at the end.
Yeah, you're right, but not in the middle where he said it. Poinsettia. All right, so a lot of things going on. I got a lot of things to get to. Of course, Joe Biden, new information coming out. Supposedly, they're pretty close to the impeachment. Me personally, I'm tired of hearing about it. Just get it done. And Joe Biden, way behind in pretty much every poll. Not looking good for Joe. Looking good for Donald Trump. Just saying. Polling numbers are looking pretty good for Donald. I'll get to that coming up in just a second. Check on the weather being brought to you by Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply. Find them in Roswell right there on East 2nd. They've got everything for the farm or ranch. They also have everything if you're looking for Western wear, work gear. They've got you covered. Full-service hardware store right in the store. The Annex building, they've got cattle guards. If you're living on a farm or ranch, it's your one-stop shop. Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, CM 1105 East 2nd, and Roswell online at roswelllivestock.com. Don't forget they also have the store in Capitan, the Lincoln County Mercantile. Check them out today. Partly sunny, 30% chance of afternoon showers. High today, 56. 46 tonight, 50% chance of rain. And then tomorrow, 100% chance of rain. I'm going to be honest. In southeast New Mexico, it is not often that we get 100% chance of showers. But tomorrow, we have 100% chance of showers. So you know what that means. We won't get a drop of rain.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's usually the way that goes. But we have rain in the forecast all the way through Friday. Supposedly by Friday afternoon, things are clearing up. But we've got rain in the forecast starting this afternoon. 5-day forecast, go to W105radio.com and check them out today. Find out what's going on with the weather. Weather this morning being brought to you by Butcher Block Meat Market and Grill in Lovington. If you haven't been in there, they're serving up breakfast. They've got some awesome burritos. They're also serving up menudo on the weekends. And if you're looking for a place where you can have lunch, that's the ideal place. They have lunch specials every single day. All you got to do is go like them on Facebook and follow them on Facebook. All information's right there, the daily lunch specials and, of course, the weekly meat specials. If you're looking for a place where you can go and the meat is really good and you're looking for somewhere where they can cut the meat to your specifications, you've come to the right place. Butcher Block Meat Market and Grill. Check them out in Lovington. 1422 South Main in Lovington, or you can call in your orders in advance, 575-739-7778. Call in advance today, pick up burritos, and bring them back to the office for everybody else. Be the nice guy this time of the year. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Man, you're making me
Time
hungry.
finally paid for somebody's meal.
He did.
I was like,
What?
wow.
What's up with that,
He
man?
did.
First time ever. When I say the first time, I do mean the first time. I have been knowing him for 15 years. He's never paid for
I
nothing.
have a couple times for you.
Never, ever paid for anything.
And he just did it. He was
Wow.
he just like boom.
He must like you. I don't think he likes me, so I mean, he must
Yeah.
like you. Democratic presidential candidate Dean Phillips. I have never heard of Dean Phillips.
Never
Who the hell
heard
is
of him.
Dean Phillips? Democratic presidential candidate?
No
Says
clue.
the GOP House impeachment inquiry into President Biden, possible role in overseeing the Hunter Biden deals, is saying that it's not going to happen. Look, I'm skeptical of them impeaching Biden. I don't think they have the oomph to remove him, but I think they do have the ability to impeach him.
Yeah.
Phillips said,
Well,
would,
do you really
vote-
want him to remove him?
Right.
I mean, look who's
good
next.
question, Blake.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Leave her alone over there by herself.
But get that 10% to the big guy, please. And Ramaswamy caught on a hot mic. I don't know if you saw that, using the bathroom during the Wild X Spaces live stream, along with the likes of Elon Musk.
And you would think that when you're on a mic that much, that's one of the first things they tell you.
Well,
Yeah.
but think about this. They attach the mic to your lapel, and then you got to go to the bathroom. You
Forget
would
about it.
seem to think that they would turn that damn mic off.
What did he say?
I mean, nobody wants to hear it. I'm just saying, but they caught him on the hot mic moment, and I mean, he probably just had his mom's curry. Believe me, that ain't ended well.
Me.
well,
what?
and maybe did he ask him to turn it off? I mean, because
No,
They're-
well, he probably forgot about it.
right, you would think
It's
the
probably
engineer
been
would
out.
know, but you know,
You would think. Strike settled. The production of the final season, Stranger Things, will begin next month. That will be back on Netflix soon. And Kanye West has been busy the past couple months developing his own news channel. Kanye West News Channel. Woo. AAA says that 7.5 million Americans plan to travel between December 23rd and January 1st. And it could be the biggest numbers in the history of America. I think people are still ready to get the hell out of the house. After COVID, they're ready to.
oh yeah,
Ukrainian President Zelensky will address the U.S. lawmakers today.
Please don't.
He made a comment yesterday, kind of backhanded comment about the Congress, and saying that they have to fund him. No. Nobody has to fund you. Do you know we're paying for over a third of everything in Ukraine? I'm talking about we're paying over a third of their budget. I think the
Why?
number's actually higher than a third. I'm talking about teachers. I'm talking about road production. I'm talking about everything. We're paying a third.
now I'm going to throw this out there, and I'm going to ask, why are we paying? Okay, and I'm going to point to two organizations that he should be going to first: NATO
UN.
And the UN.
Yeah.
So, I understand that we fund both of those organizations.
Right.
However, why isn't, because, look at where the Ukraine sits. That should be a NATO thing first and a UN thing second. And, other countries after that.
So every kid that goes to school, we're paying for that. Everything, the government, the employees,
Crazy.
we're paying, and we can't even fund our own government without borrowing money. I want you to think about this. It's just nuts. It is like, I'm reading a book right now, and in the book, it's like, man, you ever have one of those moments that you hear something, you wait, what the hell? So I'm reading this book. And in the book, it talks about China and Russia.
To be a kindred spirit and together.
It's Jack Carr, by the way. And I had to go to my Libby account, and it's called Only the Dead. I wish I'd have recorded the audio. It talks about Russia and China working together. And then guess what? They understand that Ukraine and Russia, that's one war.
Right.
But to make it easy for China to get to Taiwan, they set up a war in the Middle East. Who do you think that's with? Israel. And so I'm reading this, and I'm going, wait a second. This is like a playbook. It already happened.
Right.
Well, this book was written 3 years ago. But evidently, this guy was smart enough to know what the hell was coming.
Well, I mean, most people are if they actually look at the signs of what's going
CIA.
on.
The writer is former CIA and military. So evidently, he's smart enough to figure it out. But Zelensky, I don't think we should be funding your schools. I don't think we should be paying for your employees.
Or his yachts.
Right.
No. And it comes a point where I hope the Republicans, I hope you find your huevos.
Right.
You said you were going to hold steadfast to our southern border is wide open, 5,000 people a day being allowed to stay in America. You said that you were going to fight for border protection, and that would go hand in hand. I hope you do. I really do. Speech in Philadelphia yesterday, Biden was speaking to firefighters, and of course, through them, he's going to invest $22.4 million in federal funding to boost firefighters' salaries and benefits. Isn't that a municipality issue?
Yes.
Supposed to be.
Yes. With
So
the
we're just
exception, some areas of the country also have counties.
Oh,
yeah.
Fire departments. But yeah, it's a municipal thing.
But so why is the federal government, whatever? Look,
It's
I want
through the
firefighters.
union.
Yeah, make good money, but that's all he's doing. Hey, look at me. I'm the president. I can throw more money at you guys. And then again, I'll play it for you coming up. He had to talk about the time his house caught on fire for the 28th time.
God.
How many times can we go to this cut? Unbelievable. All right, Blake, you listened to the press conference. The governor, Michelle Lujan Gresham, continues her anti-gun crusade, divulging the gun grab that she wants to pass.
Yep.
And this will be her legacy as governor. So tell me what she was talking about yesterday.
Well, basically, she's trying to figure out a way to where she can skirt the law and still ban certain types of weapons. And really, if you kind of read between the lines, it's right down the lines of what Martin Heinrich introduced in the Senate. And so she's floated this thing out here where she, massaged this emergency health order, and I'm doing air quotes around that, to outlaw guns in certain areas. And she got it down to where everybody goes, oh, well, okay with that. And so they let that happen. And so she's turning up the heat a little more.
Yeah. And she's talking about this shooting that, a kid shot another kid at the school in the Heritage Academy.
But she's going to take any example.
Right. But we don't even know where this kid got the gun.
Mm-mm.
Was it its parents? Well, you have a law for that, the Benny's law.
But that doesn't matter.
Oh,
As far as her agenda goes, any of those questions don't matter. The fact is this kid had a gun, so therefore it's an emergency public health.
Oh, my goodness.
Tired of hearing that.
Yes. All right, we will play coming up. Biden's talking about we need to ban guns. We'll get to that. A surprising, not endorsement of the guy that said I would have no problem with Donald Trump being elected president. I was kind of blown away. So we'll get to that coming up in just a sec. Donald Trump popularity hits a record high as Joe Biden falls to a record low. As we look at these numbers, Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. Approval rating for Donald Trump, 41%. Disapproval rating, 56%. Look, you either love or hate Donald Trump, but Biden's approval rating, 36%. Disapproval rating, 61%.
Ouch.
And when we look at Donald Trump head-to-head with Joe Biden, things get better for Donald Trump. You might not like him, but compare him to Joe Biden, all you have to do is go to the grocery store. You'll figure that one out quick.
Mm-hmm.
Things are not better under Joe Biden. We can make every excuse saying, well, it was the aftermath of COVID. Well, all of a sudden, things changed. A lot of these problems that have happened because of Joe Biden were self-inflicted.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them. We talked about this yesterday, but it was later in the show when the story broke. Crown Rock is a Midland-based oil and gas producer, and they just sold to Oxy for Oxy acquired Crown Rock for $12 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable money that's being thrown around. And Crown Rock.
There's still another one out there that they're talking about that
Wow.
they said could be double that.
Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, let's get to the tweet of the day. Before we get to that, morning show this morning being brought to you by Zia Guns. Get your guns while you can get them. I'm just saying, Joe Biden is pushing the anti-gun legislation. Martin Heinrich, you got the governor of New Mexico. Get in there to Zia Guns and get your guns. Do you know gun sales have increased every time they talk about anti-gun legislation? Every time they open their mouth, more people go buy guns. This is the best sales job for the gun industry is Joe Biden, Martin Heinrich, and MLG. It really is. But I'm encouraging you to go to Zia Guns and pick out a gun that's designed just for you. Especially, look, ladies, if you're looking for a gun that fits in your purse or something you want to carry on your person, they've got guns that will accommodate all of that. If you've just got to the point in your life where you go, I need to protect myself, I'm not going to disagree with that. I agree. You need to protect yourself. This world has gone straight up crazy. Look, if you're not comfortable with a gun, they have non-lethal protection also. But if you're looking for firearms, look, Zia Guns has the largest selection of firearms in southeast New Mexico. Handguns, rifles, shotguns, they've got them all. Trade in your old gun to get a brand new gun. Maybe you're hunting and you want a brand new rig. They can accommodate that. Get in there and talk to them. 1907 North Main in Roswell. Closed Saturday, always open on Sunday. Tom on the text.
All right. Hey, Blake, this texter is asking, what's the other deal that they're talking about, sir? I'll let you look at it. Hey, by the way, the Democrats have helped Donald Trump by attacking him, says this one texter. And are you kidding? Rocket is tuning in. Are we paying 1/3 of Ukraine's bills and Zelensky just bought a $2 million yacht?
Yeah. So, now you're onto it. Mm-hmm. And have you seen the videos of Kyiv?
Yeah,
the clean streets.
I want to go there for vacation.
Right.
I'm thinking about taking a trip myself just to go there and take a picture and show it to the American public and go, hey, you bunch of idiots. This is what you're paying for.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go to Detroit and take a picture in Detroit.
Right.
This is also what you're paying for. I'm not going to Chicago because I don't want to be shot, but I would if I could find intestinal fortitude.
One of them looks like a war zone and one doesn't. And the one in the Ukraine,
Well, let me ask you this, guys, because I don't know.
Have coffee.
I'm not a war expert, or nothing, but in my own version, if I'm Russia, guess what I'm attacking first? The capital, Kyiv.
Okay.
Right.
So the other deal that they're talking about, because there's a lot of these independent oil companies that are getting bought up, right? We had like a $6 billion deal and a $9 billion deal, and this one's 12. And the one that they're that's on the radar is the Endeavor one. For Endeavor, and they're talking that could be double this one.
I know guys that work for them.
Well, and the funny thing is if you remember, not that long ago, Oxy and Chevron and Mobil and all them, they couldn't get out of this area fast enough. They couldn't leave the Permian, and they probably owned most of these things in the past. That they're buying up.
Well, and you know what's really good is that if you work for one of these independents and you were able to buy stock or they gave you stock or whatever, man, you're about to hit the lottery, seriously.
Yep.
So we could have people becoming millionaires and, have worked all their lives and never had the dream of becoming millionaires. They could become millionaires just overnight. Now, unbelievable.
I do want to stress that the Endeavor thing is stuff that I've heard. It's not a done deal. It's not definitely in the works or anything like that. That's what I heard.
Wow, crazy. All right, let's get to the tweet of the day. Tom, you got a couple more texts before we get to the tweet?
Some are coming in, but you go ahead.
You want me to go ahead?
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, go ahead. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. And we're going to talk about where does New Mexico stand when it comes to being a top oil-producing state. I'll get to that. We'll check the price of oil. We got all of that and more coming up in just a second. 627. Tweet of the day being brought to you by All American Cleaners. All American Cleaners, family-owned and operated. Roswell, Artesia, Carlsbad, Lovington, Hobbs. You can find them all over southeast New Mexico and online at allamericancleaners.net. They can wash, dry, and fold your clothes, 17 pounds, $16.99. Start you up, keep you looking good. The tweet of the day. Now, let me set the stage here. Kari Lake, of course, who ran for governor of Arizona and lost a very, very close race. A lot of people said the race was stolen. And she lost the race. So she's in Iowa, and she's about to sit and milk a cow. And listen to what she had to say. This is funny. Have you heard it, Blake?
No.
Oh, this is funny. Here we go.
Which one of you is from the New York Times? You know there's only two genders, right? There's only two genders, and they know that in Iowa. I challenge the New York Times reporter and the Washington Post reporter to try to milk a cow and then try to milk a bull and see how that goes.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and try that. I think it would be interesting at best. Yes.
That kind of went the way I thought it was going to.
Yeah. But, so all you people that think there's different genders, you can start examining animals to see about the genders. You can. New Mexico is number 2 in oil production.
Of course.
And so we are in a income bonanza, windfall of government income from petroleum production is slowing down. And I don't know if you saw the projections. They said in the next 10 years that production could slow down. And why would it slow down?
Well, they think that we're going to reach the peak, but that keeps moving all the time.
Right.
We supposedly were already at the peak.
With the government, with especially the state of New Mexico, continuing put the
regulations.
the regulations on the oil and gas industry.
Well, production's not going to slow down. It's just going to slow down in New Mexico.
Right.
They'll
So
go
the,
across the state line and drill sideways.
Right.
Or
So we had a record-setting $13 billion. $13 billion. State is headed for a $3.5 billion general fund surplus this year. And by the way, you know what's amazing? If you have discussions with people in the northern part of the state, they have no idea where this money comes from. You know, when they bitch and moan about oil and gas, I always say, okay, so where are you going to get 45% of the state budget? That comes from oil and gas. Does not.
Right.
Okay, maybe you ought to go look into that, bud.
About 90% of your school funding comes from oil and gas.
Right.
There you go. Texas Supreme Court ruled against the first woman to seek a court-approved abortion. So the Supreme Court of Texas, highly anticipated decision yesterday afternoon, ruled that Kate Cox, a Dallas mother carrying a fetus with a fatal condition, did not qualify for the abortion under state law. She has since said that she will go out of state to get an abortion.
Her lawyer said she's already gone.
Oh, no, she's coming here.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, here's the thing that I don't understand. So if this woman, and granted she's however many couple weeks past whatever the cutoff is, but if the baby has this fatal condition, which apparently was one of the exception things that they were talking about, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, if all these things are met, why don't they say, okay, the Republicans could win on this issue and go,
I agree 100%.
This is what we're talking about. Yes, you can have it.
Yes, I agree. I agree that, look, we know that abortion is not a winning issue for Republicans. And look, I'm not talking about morality. I'm not talking about my personal beliefs. I'm just saying when it comes to winning, this is not a popular discussion.
No.
It is not.
And they
just
had a chance and shot themselves in the foot with this.
And we blew it. LeBron James went to his son's first game at USC. Tom, did you see when he entered the building?
No, but I heard that he didn't greet his
What?
old man.
Well, you heard what?
Heard that after the game he didn't greet his old man. Didn't say hi to his dad or nothing.
Really, Tom?
I mean, and I take that
Sometimes
as
I gotta wonder when you just make stuff up.
No, it's true. After the game, after the game, he didn't greet his dad.
I haven't seen one word about that on the news.
I did. No, anyway, what about his entrance anyway?
Give me a source. Go ahead. Give me a source.
ESPN.
ESPN. Nothing on ESPN.
As good as it gets, it damn sure is.
Nothing.
I'll
go
bring
ahead
it
and
up on my phone. I'll let
please do.
Blake read it.
Please do.
B, did you just call him the fake news capital?
Point about LeBron. First of all, he entered the building when they were singing the national anthem.
Oh.
And you know, to me, when I don't give a damn if you're LeBron James, I don't care who you are. When the national anthem's on, you stop.
That's right.
And you give respect. Well, he walked in, got shown to his seat, and sat down during the national anthem. The video, by the way, I shared it on Being the Breakfast Club if you want to go check it out. I didn't see anything on there that Boney did not talk to the old man.
Yeah,
but he damn sure disrespected our national anthem again.
Hey, cool.
Does that surprise you?
No. Philippines accusing China of blasting a Navy supply boat with a water cannon. Look, things are starting to rile up in the South China Sea. Second day in a row that the Chinese blasted the supply boat with a water cannon. This has been going on for months. There are two countries that China would love to have. Number one, Taiwan. Number two is the Philippines.
It makes sense because of where they are geographically.
Well, and both countries, the Philippines, the Chinese have already built man-made islands. Man-made islands in the middle of the ocean. Let that sink in for a second. Look, the Chinese are all over the place. The Chinese all over Africa. They invested in Jamaica, Yaman. They are all over the place. And once they invest money, they get the claws into these small countries, and the rest is history. Crazy.
And most Americans aren't paying attention to that because they never hear about it.
No, they don't hear about it. Florida man arrested allegedly refusing to pay for a Waffle House tattoo. I'm just going to tell you right now. Your life is going down the tubes when you get a Waffle House tattoo.
Tom, I'll pay for yours if you want one.
No, thank you.
Max McGretchen, 33 years old, was arrested after he walked out of the tattoo place without paying for the Waffle House tattoo.
I am on the side of the artist here.
No, I'm definitely on the side of the artist. You tell them you want a tattoo and they do the work, you should pay them.
In a way, I'm okay with people saying that you got to pay up front for clients they don't know.
And anybody's ever eaten at the Waffle House?
I have.
Of course.
It's not like something I'd want a tattoo of, but God bless you. God bless you. Price Oil this morning being brought to you by Spinnaker Oilfield Cementers. Get in touch with them today. Find them at greatoilfieldjobs.com. They are currently not hiring in Texas, Oklahoma, or New Mexico. They filled every position. And part of the reason they have been able to fill all their positions, they offer great pay and a great benefit package. You can go check them out, but they're not hiring right now. GreatOilfieldJobs.com. Tom in the text at 6:30. Tom in the at 6:37.
West Texas Intermediate, $70.79. Brent crude at $75.44, and the price of natural gas is $2.43. B.
All right, we got lots of things to get to. Thought for the day coming up. Also, a candy bar sparked a violent confrontation in Odessa, and Skip Bayless. I am not a fan of Skip.
What's he up to?
I'll tell you what Skip just had to say. And a woman accused of setting fire to a house killed 2 people in Grants County. We'll get to that. R.D. Vance, Representative J.D. Vance of Ohio, talks about Donald Trump. And listen to the question. This is the big narrative that the Democrats are setting forth about Donald Trump.
You really have no concerns that Donald Trump might try to abuse his power if reelected?
No, Jake, I don't. Look, the guy was president for 4 years. We had peace, we had prosperity, we had wages rising faster than inflation. Joe Biden has been president for 3 years. Now the average Ohio family pays $10,000 more to afford the same standard of living. The idea that Trump is going to be radically different than what he was 4 years ago is just preposterous. He was an effective, successful president. I think he will be an effective, successful president again. That's why I've endorsed him. And I think this desire to make the election all about the past is indicative of the fact the Democrats don't have much to run on. I think Republicans do.
Well, the whole idea that Donald Trump is going to go against the Supreme Court is exactly what Joe Biden has done. Here we go again, accuse somebody of something while we're doing the same thing. Right. How many times has the Supreme Court ruled that you can't take student loan debt and forgive it to put the burden on the taxpayers? They ruled on this. Mm-hmm. Joe Biden just forgave billions of dollars in student loan debt, did exactly against what the Supreme Court said. Mm-hmm. Do as I say, not as I do.
Well, if you want to talk about a dictator, that fits the definition.
Yes. But accuse and while they're doing the same thing.
We are becoming a banana republic if we're not already there.
And I mean, think about the Russia collusion.
Mm-hmm.
There was no Russia collusion, but Hillary Clinton was doing some colluding. That's for damn sure.
I was going to say there was Russian colluding,
right?
But it wasn't. It was the people accusing the others who were doing it.
Here we go again. That's exactly the point. All right, looks like Chris Cuomo. Chris Cuomo was on CNN. Tom, would you consider him liberal?
Oh, God, yes.
Listen what he said about Trump.
If it's Biden, Trump, look, for me, again, we survived a Trump administration. Would we survive another one? Yes. Yes. I don't think there's any greater risk to America with him than with Biden. And for people who are now going to attack me and say, what are you talking about? Trump is like this crazy man. Well, look, as Patrick says, the data is the data. Nobody was trying to kill us when Trump was president in a way that they're not now. If anything, there's more hostility. And you can have reasons for that any way you want. I'm just saying, existentially, I'm not afraid of a Trump presidency.
All right. I want you to think about this. Yesterday, I played the cut where CNN said Donald Trump was right.
Yep.
And then I get Chris Cuomo saying he wouldn't have a problem with Donald Trump being reelected. We live in some crazy, crazy times.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Also, yesterday, this came out. This cut's a little long, but I wanted to get the whole so you know exactly where we're going. Some of the things the Chinese make. Tom, name some of the things the Chinese make that we need in this country. Toys, yes.
Shoes.
Yeah, for us to survive, toys and shoes, that comes to the top of the list.
Yeah, Sam.
Oh my
well,
God.
they make how many tool manufacturers now are in China? How many bicycle frame manufacturers? Now there's a couple that are outside of there, but I mean,
yeah, I was thinking more about like medication, generic medication. They make 80%, 90% of generic medication.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to microchips, Taiwan. You know why China wants Taiwan? Because Taiwan is the other partner that makes the most semiconductor chips.
Right.
China and Taiwan together make 99.9% of semiconductor chips. But yesterday, China was busted, and China needs to be put in check. This would never happen under Donald Trump. And what's amazing, you hear nothing about this story.
The Post reveals hackers affiliated with China's People's Liberation Army have infiltrated critical services here in the U.S.
Alexandra Hoff joins us now from our nation's capital. Alex, this is not good.
No, it's not. I mean, this infiltration appears to be part of a broader effort to insert chaos into our logistical systems. The information collected could then be weaponized if the U.S. and China were to become engaged directly in the Pacific. According to reporting from the Washington Post citing multiple U.S. and industry security officials, China's cyber army is invading critical U.S. services, like an attempt to break into the system behind Texas's independent power grid. Other victims include a water utility in Hawaii, a West Coast port, and at least one oil and gas pipeline, according to that report you're seeing there. Brendan Wells, executive director of the Department of Homeland Security's cybersecurity agency, told the Washington Post this, quote, "It is very clear that Chinese attempts to compromise critical infrastructure are in part to pre-position themselves to be able to disrupt or destroy that critical infrastructure in the event of a conflict, to either prevent the United States from being able to project power into Asia or to cause societal chaos inside the United States to affect our decision-making around a crisis."
So if we ever go to war with China, they can wreak havoc on us while while we're doing battle with them in the Pacific. Unbelievable. Where's Joe Biden on this? It's hard to condemn a country when they paid you millions and millions of dollars. When your president is compromised, it's very tough to come down on them. Because they might have like videos of Hunter and doing drugs with underage girls. And, oh, you wouldn't want that to come out right before the election, would you?
Well, and like you pointed out as well, you know, China is really going into a lot of these other countries. Vietnam, for one of them, they just became their biggest trade partner.
Right.
And Chinese are really stepping up, trying to do their trade partnership with countries like Australia.
Look, there is an effort for China to become number one in the globe, while America is sitting back, sucking hind. Yeah, I won't finish it, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, Joe Biden is driving us right down that path. When was the last time our credit rating dropped to where it is now? Have we ever been that low?
No.
Never. This is the first time. This is the first time. We've never gone below A minus.
Have they ever threatened to take us out of being the world currency for oil?
Oh, and by the way, that is a plan by China and Saudi Arabia.
Right.
So China is over there making deals. I don't know. All right, Joe Biden talks about the fire one more time, 28 times. It's like the Monahan story with Tom.
It also saved my home and my wife's life. When I was away, it was the last day that...
I the whole damn story by heart. You don't have to continue. Thank you, firefighters. Here's another $22 million.
Again, though, but he's not really giving it to them because that's a municipal thing. He's giving it to the IAFF union.
Right. That's who's getting the money. Thought for the day being brought to you by Wakefield Oil, 35 years serving southeast New Mexico, 35 plus years. Mr. Wendell Wakefield packed up the family, brought them to New Mexico. They started Wakefield Oil. Thought for the day in memory of Mr. Wendell Wakefield. If you need oil and gas products out in the patch, diesel, DEF value, unleaded, or interstate batteries, they can deliver them to you. They go on-road, they go off-road. So if you're sitting on location right now and you need diesel or gas or interstate batteries, pick up the phone and give them a call. Go to the website, wakefieldoil.com. Thought for the day in memory of Mr. Wendell Wakefield. Thought for the day when what happens under the mistletoe stays under the mistletoe, Tom, just so you understand that. All right, 648. Tom, hey, check it in.
I mean, we have a traffic alert to report. There is a two-vehicle crash at milepost 34 on 128, and no law enforcement officers or EMS are on site yet. Again, a two-vehicle crash at milepost 34 on 128. First responders have not arrived yet. And this report is being brought to you by
Luke Ragsdale, RagsdaleLawFirm.com. Give him a call today. And don't forget, slow down and be safe and get home to your family. Candy Bar and Candy Cane sparked a violent confrontation. An Odessa woman was taken to the Ector County Jail Sunday after being accused of both trying to bite a Family Dollar employee and stealing a candy bar, candy canes, and a bottle of liquor valued at $1.90. Liquid. So, because I don't think they sell liquor at the Family Dollar. According to the Odessa Police Department, the assistant manager at the Family Dollar store on South Grants, told officers Melissa Lenez, 53 years old, frequent shopper, and she arrived at the store, and they saw her stuffing merchandise in a purse. When she passed the cash register, they told her something about it. They tried to search her purse. One thing led to another. She tried to bite the assistant manager. By the way, she has been arrested, according to the reports. They found chocolate bars. Oh, they do sell alcohol. They found a Four Loko in her purse. Man, I'm going to be honest. I know life is tough, but a Four Loko, life has went down fast. It really has. It has. All right, we're going to get to Skip Bayless coming up next. Tom on the text, 877-396-W105. Morning show this morning. Being brought to you by Roadrunner Grill and Barbecue. Find them 811 West Main in Artesia. That's their brand new location. Yes, they have barbecue now. They're serving up breakfast right now. They serve up a awesome lunch like they always have. And now they have barbecue. They can cater your next big event. Or maybe you want them to prepare meals for everybody on location or in the office. Call in advance. 575-736-2573. Roadrunner Grill and Barbecue. Find them in Artesia. Or just pick up the phone and give them a call. 575-736-2573. Tom on the text.
All right, this texter is saying on that woman who was turned down by the Supreme Court in Texas on her abortion, why didn't she just come quietly to New Mexico and get her abortion in the first place instead of getting on the news?
Because she's standing she's standing up for other women. That's that is the point of that.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's right, please don't, but that's what she's doing.
She did it for this outcome.
Yeah.
And this was a win for all of the abortion rights activists.
Pro-lifers, yeah.
No
doubt.
Not
all the advocates.
Yes,
yes,
for pro-abortionists.
Yes.
Had the Supreme Court in Texas said, okay, you can have one, it could have gone down as a loss, and the Republicans could have won on this issue, but they didn't.
Yes, I agree.
Missed the chance. Hey, another texter is saying, hey, don't forget about the balloon that China has got us covered, says the texter.
Mm-hmm.
And on Mama Bear, she's saying the medication from China, she says. Yeah, that's what they do. And
I mean, how fast could they kill Tom? How many medications are you on, Tom?
I'm on 2 of them.
You're on more than 2 medications.
That's how many he takes. He doesn't take the
Stop
other ones.
it already.
I'm on my blood pressure, and I'm on my
You're on blood pressure, statin.
He doesn't take them.
Diabetes medication.
Oh, those others, yeah, I'm on those.
Cholesterol medication. Oh, those don't count.
He doesn't take them, Kevin.
I'm a picture of perfect health, damn it.
Okay. Another texter says, hundreds of Kentucky National Guard troops have been called up this weekend and being deployed to Southeast Asia. Not sure of the other states, though. Have you heard anything about that?
No, I haven't seen any of that. Why would they be going to Southeast Asia?
Good question.
Well, maybe they were just training. I mean, they do deploy
Could
to
be.
other parts of the world for training.
Right.
And one more text on the abortion issue. You guys need to get it right. The Texas Supreme Court followed the law, says the text.
It's not the Supreme Court's job to follow the law to a degree. How many times have they gone against the law? But look, right, wrong, whatever, now they've taken a stand, and it is what it is. All right, Skip Bayless claims that Michael Penix Jr. deserved the Heisman Trophy over Jaden Daniels.
Now, he's the Washington quarterback, right, B?
Skip Bayless.
So, look, Skip, I understand that you're a friend of Lil Wayne, and you and Lil Wayne and your wife go on dates together. I guess Lil Wayne's the bull. I don't know, but I'm just, look, it's over and done with. Having the comeback after all of this, it's done. The vote. Jaden Daniels beat Penix. It was 2-1 in first place votes. Are you a voter? I mean, if you did vote for Michael, I mean, whatever. It's done. It's finished. You Monday morning quarterback, son of a gun. You and Stephen A. Smith ought to get together.
Here's the problem with Skip. Skip hasn't been relevant since the early 2000s.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, well, a woman accused of setting fire to a house that killed 2 people in Grants County. She was arrested in connection with that. She was arrested in Santa Clara, New Mexico. Cassandra Brazil, 34 years old, is accused of setting fire to the house. She's been charged with first-degree murder in both those counts. 2 people died, a 60-year-old and a 78-year-old. She has been arrested. Thank God she is off the street. And the Attorney General recommending public safety priorities to state leaders. So the Attorney General, Raul Torres, is looking ahead for the 2024 legislative session on how to address crime in the state. In a letter to lawmakers, he outlined the solutions to improve public safety and combat gun crimes. Here's a great idea. The people that break the law, keep them locked up in jail. That's the first thing. Keep them locked up in jail. And number 2, if somebody has committed murder, anything, child predators, keep them locked up in jail. Quit letting violent offenders out of jail. Thank you so much, Raul. I appreciate you.
He doesn't blame them. It's not their fault they did the crime.
Oh,
whatever. It's you gun owners that are the bad guys.
Oh, you nasty gun owners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, B, if you look at it, who would have ever have guessed that, I must say, little old New Mexico would be in the position to where the state of New Mexico is leading the way to do away with the Second Amendment. Our governor, our senator, our attorney general, all are trying to go against the U.S. Constitution.
In a state
that
was part of the Wild Wild West, where guns won the Wild Wild West, and now we got to get rid of the guns.
And I think what it is because our population is low, but we're spread out over a big area, they can float these trial balloons out there and see what they can get away with in a state with a low population before they try to introduce it everywhere else.
Yep. And here's the deal. Worry about Albuquerque. I mean, if you want to take people's guns away and you think it's going to work, it's not going to work. You're going to affect people that are trying to protect themselves.
But they don't care.
Not the criminals.
They want to protect the criminals.
Well, evidently they're doing a fairly good job at it. Look at the crime rate. Craziness. Jack Smith is using Trump's phone data in his trial. Did you guys see this? Special counsel Jack Smith plans to use the data from former President Donald Trump's White House cell phone in a federal 2020 election interference case. Also could use other people's phone data. So if Trump was over there using Twitter on that phone, or using, I pray to God that Donald Trump had his own personal phone, not the White House phone, but his own personal phone. Because they've got the information from the White House phone. I'm praying to God that he was not sending information back and forth on his own, on the White House phone. Not saying they couldn't subpoena to get the records from his personal phone. Right. So we'll see where that goes. The case of a man who fatally shot a Roswell mother 6 years ago has been bound over to the district court for a trial 6 years ago. And eventually a resolution. The electronic court documents indicate that that when he went to trial before a judge on Wednesday, Raymond Lucero, Tom, you remember this case, 45, waived his right to preliminary hearing over whether the probable cause exists allowing the case to advance to New Mexico 5th Judicial Court. Todd Holmes, Lucero's attorney, did not respond to a voicemail before the press time Thursday, asking for a comment on the case. Lucero was arrested and charged November 21st with a first-degree murder and other criminal counts that date back to 2018 and the death of a individual back in 2018. Criminal complaint in this case says that in addition to the murder charges, Lucero also faces cases of abuse of a child, in one case of shooting from a dwelling, and also shooting from a motor vehicle. So this case goes back to 2018. Hopefully they get him in court, find him guilty, and keep him locked up. Sad. And a Florida woman arrested for falsely reporting that her children's Christmas gifts were stolen. But, as it turns out, Shanna Hudson, 39 years old, used the funds for something else. Wow. You not only are you the Grinch, you could be the mother of the year. All rolled up in the one. Pretty sad. All right, Tom on the text. Get to it, Tom.
All right, so Leroy is chiming in, and he's saying, have you seen how fat little Wayne's face has gotten? Doesn't even look like him anymore, says Leroy this morning. I don't even know who that guy is, so I couldn't comment on it.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah. And this texter says, Operation Spartan Shield peacekeeping rotation out of those, we were talking about those Kentucky National Guard people. 300 of them have been deployed to Southwest Asia. It's factual. This text is saying, what reason it doesn't list, though, but it is factual.
Well, and then the other one said Operation Spartan Shield.
And so,
by the way, our numbers in the military are way, way down. We're not war at this point. Our numbers are way down. And I don't know if that has to do with Joe Biden as president.
Of course it does.
Or COVID, that we lost a bunch of people to COVID that got out of the military or were kicked out of the military, or that the wokeness has just people, they don't want to be a part of that.
It's a combination of all of those things. If you go back and you look at
fix that.
Yeah, when you go back and look at particular presidents, you can watch the rise and decline of military service. But when you add to that things like COVID, where they say you can't serve unless you do this, when they're already getting, multiple injections, They don't know what's in it. But, when they introduce that kind of stuff, and then, like you said, the wokeness, when you add all that together, you're going to get a decline.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, we got a phone call. Good morning. You are on B and the Breakfast Club. Who's this?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Hey, Frank.
Sir. Man, yes, sir. Yeah, man, where was Jack Smith when Crooked Hillary Blitz beat all those emails and phone calls from her phone, man? We needed him then. It's
Jack Smith would not be concerned with Hillary.
Exactly. You know what? That's why the American people and a lot of countries, not only in America, but a lot of countries, that are conservative, they're seeing what's going on in the world. We keep emphasizing about the one world order and about the globalists, and they're against humanity. And the Clintons are in their realm. They're part of the one world order. They're part of the globalists. They get away with everything, and that's the way they want to keep it. They want to hide everything, especially when Chelsea Clinton is married to George Soros' grandson or son, Jack Soros. So going back, anything that they throw at Trump, remember, it's going to ricochet, because there's no tough lawyers to beat 18 states that he's being indicted on. Okay, but there's a God. There's a God, and that God is taking care of him day and night. We try to back them up. We try to, say the truth on what we think it's whatever information we research, and basically God is taking care of him.
Well, I'm hoping and praying that God is overlooking us right now and going, you guys need to wake up, because I think God allows us to make mistakes and figure it out. Hopefully we figure it out. I appreciate you, Frank. On the way, some of the stories we're going to talk about. New Mexico revenue forecast shows signs of a slowing down. We'll dive into that. Some nonprofits are still waiting on their money from the state. Bond set for an inmate in Chaves County after the inmate stabbed a guard. We'll talk about that. And the Chicago mayor talking about he's got some big problems with illegal aliens. Well, you are a sanctuary state, my friend. We'll talk about that. And also Patrick Mahomes. Did he set a good example for kids? I'll dive into that and more coming up this morning. It's already 7:06 KWMW Maljamar 105.1 FM. Check of the weather being brought to you by WW. Pet friendly, great place to lay your head at night. Very well lit up, and awesome folks. Go to the website, www.rv3.com, or give them a call, 988-0392, www.rv3.com. We got sun this morning. Enjoy it while you can, because then we go into rain for the next 3 days. 56 for the high, 30% chance of rain this afternoon, 50% chance of rain tonight, 100% chance of rain on Wednesday, and a 90% chance of rain on Thursday, possibly clearing up by Friday. 5-day forecast, go to W105radio.com. Taking out trash on the way, things that happen on this date in history, the boob of the day. Right now, let's get updated with news being brought to you by Chance Materials, reminding you every project begins with a solid foundation. Chance Materials, they provide high-quality, ready-mix concrete, lowest possible price, great customer service. Go to the website, chancematerials.com, or 575-363-3240. Chance Materials, they have ready-mix concrete. They would love to chat with you. They have plants in Carlsbad and Roswell. They serve everybody across southeast New Mexico. 575-363-3240. If you're driving, just remember the name, Chance Materials, chancematerials.com. Taking a break. We're being the Breakfast Club on W105.
News brought to you by Stone Oilfield Services in Lovington. Getting the job done right every time since 2004.
Proudly serving most phases of the oil field process, Stone Oilfield Services has a fleet of over 60 trucks and a workforce of over 100 employees. From water transport to kill and vac truck operations, flowback services and pit filling to the clean out of rigs and tanks, as well as oiling and acidizing, Stone Oilfield believes in getting the job done right every time. Their central motto, do what you say you can do. Call them today at 575-396-1840. That's 396-1840.
MTD Radio News, I'm Jim Miller. Over the last few years, the state government's earned more money than lawmakers plan to spend on the state when they meet early next year to plan the state budget. New data from U.S. Census Bureau shows which New Mexico cost $13 billion for the period of mid-2024 to mid-2025. That means revenue growth still up, but growth is not happening as fast as in recent years, they say. Much of the state's income comes from the oil and gas industry. U.S. Department of Agriculture's Forest Service has rolled out its first statewide recreation pass in New Mexico. Enchantment Pass holders will be able to access more than 30 New Mexico National Forest recreation areas for an annual fee of $40. The pass guarantees unlimited use throughout the operating season of developed day-use standard amenity-fee sites located throughout the National Forest and grasslands of New Mexico. These include the Carson, Gila, Lincoln, and Santa Fe National Forest, plus the Cibola National Forest and National Grasslands. Well, the Hobbs Public Library Board of Directors voting to approve policy changes that will expand access to library materials across the state line. Library Director Nikki Lawless presented the proposal to the board at its regular November meeting, recommending residents of Gaines County, Texas be added to the list of people who could obtain a library card in Hobbs. The idea was based on how libraries in New Mexico are funded, receiving money from individual cities' gross receipt taxes, the portion of state sales tax returned to communities periodically. The changes won't affect just Gaines County residents. Under the previous policy, individuals had to show proof of Lee County residency to obtain a library card. That excluded temporary workers living in hotels and other non-permanent dwellings. And that's what's happening. I'm Joe Miller, MTD Radio News.
You know what makes me sick? You know what makes me so angry? I just want to make out my Christmas gift list and start with a kerosene space heater for Frosty the Snowman. I'm here to throw some water on some of these mamby-pamby ignorant stuff we've been hearing about all beliefs in Christmas. I call it Christmas propaganda, and I don't know how to tell you this, but we all got played for suckers. Here's a big one. You ready? You hear this. It's better to give than receive. On what planet? People, in all my years, I have gave and I have got. And receiving beats the hell out of giving. Now, I don't know who exactly come up with this giving is better, but that's a sack of hooey. I'm pretty sure one of them, what you call it, Bravo channel watching metrosexuals come up with it. I like to call them men that shave more than their faces. See, because to give, you got to do two things. You got to shop and you got to spend money. You don't got to be CSI to put two and two together on that one. If you're a man, you're a redneck. It ain't all it's hepped up to be at giving stuff. Well, let me ask you a question. When you was a little kid and you got back to school after Christmas vacation, what all your buddies ask you? They'd ask, hey, what'd you get for Christmas? Nobody ever asked you, what'd you give for Christmas? You never heard that because nobody gives a rat's butt what you bought for somebody else. Unless, of course, you was in drama class. You want more proof? Okay, try this. To give a gift, you got to wrap it, right? You show me a redneck man that can wrap a present. I'll show you a man that watches the Oxygen Channel. We can rip them open. But you give a man fancy paper, some tape, and a box. That'd be like giving Dr. Phil a socket set. So remember, if you believe it's better to give than receive, you're dumber than drywall. Wake up, America! I know some of y'all still going to be thinking giving's better than getting. All I can say is you can send my gift courtesy of this station. But don't be expecting nothing from me, because I know the difference. I'm Earl Pitts American. Pizzo.
If you need an aggressive, experienced personal injury attorney who is honest and true, you need to get the Gorilla.
So I'm 23 years old. I worked at a warehouse, and I took an injury which caused the amputation of my right leg. I was approached by a specific firm, and they turned my case down within 5 minutes. I was told to come visit the Gorilla Law Firm, and immediately they saw potential in my case. And I tell you what, Gorilla Law Firm had my back when no one else did. The Gorilla Law Firm made me a multi-millionaire. And if you're injured, you call the Gorilla Law Firm too.
The Gorilla Law Firm, 3130 North Grimes and Hobbs, or call 575-964-2720.
Carlsbad's evening hotspot is Cal's Shade Western Lounge and Package, featuring nightly drink specials, karaoke Wednesday nights, open mic Thursdays for ladies' night with $1 off drinks. Plus, most Friday and Saturday nights feature live music. Don't forget the 24-lane bowling action of Cal's Cactus Lanes Bowling and Recreation Center with Cosmic Bowling Friday and Saturday nights. And eat at Berea de Rango Tuesday through Sunday. A restaurant, 2 lounges, package store, and recreation center, all at 1611 South Canal in Carlsbad. Cal's Shade Western now hiring bartenders, waitresses, security, and office personnel. Call 887-9012 for Cal's Shade Western.
Beautiful morning on this beautiful morning.
In a world of lunacy, being the Breakfast Club makes you feel normal again. Well, everyone except Tom A. Be in the Breakfast Club, powered by Carlsbad Chevy and broadcasting from the Inn of the Mountain God studio.
Grand Canyon, one of the Earth's 9 wonders, wonders of the world. Literally. Think of that. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's the best time of the year for white lies.
I can't make it to the party.
Arrangements and family estrangements, it works every time. It's the best time of the year for white lies.
We'd love to go, but we can't.
In the cold weather with a stupid sweater is not how I like to rock. And neither is listening to your boring stories while your dog is sniffing my crotch. It's the most awkward time of the year.
We'd love to go to your Christmas party, but we're not going to be able to make it this year. 877-396-W105. We are beyond the Breakfast Club. Taking out the trash is on the way. Text line is wide open. Morning show this morning being brought to you by our buddies. Question of the day being brought to you by Lovington Auto Supply, your Napa dealer. Find them in Lovington, Avenue D in Lovington, more than just a parts store. Text line 877-396-W105 being brought to you by Amigo Machinery. You're a Kubota dealer. Online at amigo-machinery.com. And don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, Rumble, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, I don't think I left anybody out. Being brought to you by Desert Sand Water Well, online at desertsandsnm.com. If you mention being the Breakfast Club, you can save 10% off, no matter if they're repairing or putting in a brand new water well. If they're putting in a brand new water well, that could save you a lot of money. So make sure and mention B and the Breakfast Club. Tom A. in the studio. Good morning, Tom.
Hi, good morning, B. And you know what? This texter says, I don't know who, but it was in the Bible that it is better to give than to receive. And that is true because you feel the Spirit of God when you're doing charitable work, says the texter. Another texter says, if the Supreme Court says that a president can commit all crimes without impunity, then Biden will never need to leave office, says the texter.
They meant with impunity.
With impunity. And another texter said, you know what, man? Tom, you only read what is convenient for you. I mean, I will be glad when you're gone, you darn liberal, says the text. I ain't no liberal.
He's part-time and thinking about taking a vacation already.
Yeah. Got to see the new grandbaby.
Part-timers don't get paid vacation.
Well, I got a new grandbaby, so I got to go see her.
Part-timers don't get vacation.
Well, Tom A. is going to go.
Part-timers do not get vacation.
Wait a minute. Aren't you part-time?
Yeah, and I don't take vacations.
Whatever. You get vacation every weekend over there.
Tell me when I took a vacation.
You take a vacation when you're here. You go see your boys up at LSU.
Okay. When do I not work?
Let's see. And then you.
No. Ask
go
the
to
question.
Disneyland. Go to Disney World.
And when did I not work? I did a show from every one of those places.
And every weekend you go island hopping over there.
I'm off on the weekends.
I'll say weekends aren't vacations.
Keep digging yourself. Go ahead.
I'm just saying.
Vacation is when you take time off of work, Tom.
Yeah. Besides.
But he didn't take time. He didn't take time off of work.
Are you kidding me?
Only when he can't, like when he's flying or something like that.
Right.
Which is,
when I'm in transition, and that's it.
Then he spends
our
American money over there in the Philippines.
Our American money.
It's my American money in the Philippines. So why are you worried about it? Keep your hand out of my damn pocket, Joe Biden.
I'm saying, hello.
That's not your money. That's my money. That's my money.
According to Tom, it's our money.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
Big flip-flop.
Now you sound like the wife. A recent poll in the UK posed a ultimate holiday season question. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Tom, is it?
Yes, it is.
Tom is correct.
Yep, both of them are, by the way.
And I was a little confused because Die Hard, I thought was a movie about a guy that took Viagra and then had a heart attack.
Bruce Willis
I guess.
started all 5 of them.
38% of people said yes. 39% of people said no.
Then how are they defining a Christmas movie? Because by every definition, it's a Christmas movie.
It's during the holiday, yeah.
It just has explosions.
Yeah. According to a
And
brand
so,
new study.
by the way, so is Gremlins.
Yeah,
Oh, I love
exactly.
that show.
60% of people in Japan, Generation Zers, say they would not ever, they're never getting married. They're never going to, 60% of young people in Japan say they're never getting married. They're going to stick to Marvel movies for the rest of their life.
Why buy the cow?
60% say they're never, ever getting married. Craziness. According to a brand new study, turning down an invitation to a holiday party that you really do not want to attend is good for your mental health. Not going is good for your mental health. And the Golden Globes nominations are out. Barbie, 9 nominations for Barbie.
Kidding me, be for real.
Need I say more?
Is that a
Jack
surprise?
Hogan. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
No.
Jack Hogan, the retired actor who starred in the World War II drama series called Combat.
Oh, yeah,
From 62 to 67, died of natural causes. He was 94 years old. And Blake, you were saying that UK, by the way, they just lit up the big Christmas lighting ceremonies in front of Parliament last week. And when they flipped the switch, only half the lights worked on the Christmas tree. Wow. But UK made, they just had an emergency vote.
Yeah, they're in the process of discussing it at the moment, but it's an emergency vote on Rwanda legislation. And I don't know what's going on in Rwanda. I'm trying to look it up.
Sticking out their hand is what it is.
No, there's something going on, but I don't know.
Everybody's shaking out there, Tom. Air Force penalized 15 after a big investment. So the Air Force announced yesterday that it was penalizing 15 people after investigating into classified information leaks by members of the Massachusetts Air National Guard. So they're penalizing 15 people and the Massachusetts Air National Guard. This stems from that one young man. Remember the 21-year-old? He was a fall guy.
Yeah.
And I don't remember his name, but they charged him early on. Now they're charging 15 other people that supposedly disciplinary actions against them. And the Supreme Court are going to speed up the Trump immunity decision. Supreme Court promptly responded yesterday to Special Counsel Jack Smith's request to expedite consideration when it comes to determination if the former president, Donald Trump, has absolute presidential immunity from crimes he is accused of committing while in office. High Court ordered Donald Trump's attorney to file a reply to Jack Smith's petition by December 20th. The Supreme Court won't necessarily take up that case, but will render a final decision and in a timely manner. Smith told the Supreme Court in his filing that he is pursuing the court's opinion to ensure that Donald Trump can't drag out this case until after the election. So the Supreme Court is going to rule if Donald Trump had some immunity when he was president of the United States. So we'll see where this plays out. This will be another first in America.
Yeah, it will. And I found out about the Rwanda thing whenever we're done with it.
Well, what's going on there?
So apparently it's kind of their version of our southern border. It wants to, quote unquote, end the merry-go-round of legal challenges that prevent removal of asylum seekers who have entered the UK illegally by crossing the English Channel. They had in the first 9 months of 2023, they've had 24,800 people cross the English Channel in little bitty boats.
Yep.
And in last year, they had almost 46,000 people do the same thing, all from Rwanda. And what they've
Yeah,
been
well,
doing is they've been sending them back to Rwanda.
Oh.
And so you have one group of their politicians, and I don't know which party is which, is trying to make sure they can still send them back. And I'm guessing it's their liberal wing is saying, no, they got to stay here.
Oh, wow. By the way, Fox at the border yesterday, here's a report. And when I see people from Senegal in huge numbers, small country coming to the United States, Tom, is what religion is the most popular religion in Senegal?
I think that's Muslim.
The Muslims. As Tom says, Muslims. Blake, would you concur?
The Muslims, yes.
Yes, the Muslims. And Tom is right, though. It is the Muslim religion that is coming. And so Fox
And they're
actually...
by the way, they're Sunnis.
They're Sunnis. Wow. So Fox interviewed some of them at the border yesterday, and it also came out last night that we are allowing 5,000 people we're releasing 5,000 people per day into the United States. Mm-hmm. That means 5,000 people, 5,000 gift cards, $5,000 on every gift card, including airline tickets and all kind of other stuff. And then they can apply for benefits.
Mm-hmm.
So we cannot sustain this amount of people. But here's what Fox had to say, and talking to people from Senegal.
Sir, where are you from?
Me, I'm from Senegal.
Senegal. You want to go to New York?
Yeah, I want to go there.
And why'd you come to the United States?
Because it's the peace country and it's the democracy also. That's why we want to be here.
U.S. kisser.
To continue what we are planning our life, because we see so many people who is here, and the life is very great.
Did anybody else here from Senegal? Senegal. Got a few hands raised up. Where in the United States do you guys want to go to? What cities? New York? New York? Michigan. Where in Michigan?
Send them. My brother.
California.
For your brother. Your brother's in the U.S.?
Yeah, my brother.
Sir, where do you want to go?
And so, me and Blake talked off the air about this. I hear people all the time going, we were poor. Mm-hmm. And I've said this on the air before. If your kid's got a brand new pair of LeBrons and an iPhone, you're not poor.
Right. You're
because I've seen people that have never wore a pair of shoes. And so poor in Senegal and poor in the United States is totally different. Totally different. Poor in the Philippines and poor in the United States is like night and day. Tom, I spent my day today gathering food. I've gotten requests from teachers at school saying we want to give to the poorest of poorest kids for Christmas. We want to give them food. Have you ever heard any kid in the United States wanting food for Christmas?
Very, very rare.
So we're giving out 5 kilos of rice and all kind of other stuff to kids for Christmas. Food for Christmas. So there's a different poor in America and other countries. Mm-hmm. But wasn't Senegal at one time under the French control?
I'm not sure.
I think so.
Yeah. Because when you
I'd
hear
have to go
the
look.
way this guy talked, that sounded like a French accent to me. I could be wrong. Crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Crushing a liberal. This is a great. This happened yesterday on Capitol Hill. And by the way, this guy
the official language is French. So
okay. Yeah. It sounded French to me. So this guy that is interviewing this liberal on the House floor is the same guy. Remember the guy that wanted to fight the guy that was a leader of the unions. The representative Munford from Oklahoma, and he said, "Yeah, well, let's do it now. Let's strap it on." But I love the way he destroyed the liberal. He crushed her without crushing her. Here's the whole thing.
So does that mean in plastic manufacturing?
I mean, in my dream world, sure, but I think that go ahead.
No, so I don't mean to be condescending here. I just point out what's going to replace your glasses. Like,
So
how
I
would you wear
do
your
know
glasses around your face. They're made of plastic.
maybe.
No,
I don't know what they're made out of.
They are. What about, and I'm just pointing out some things here because I just want to be realistic when we're having conversations. Because when statements are made like this, I just want to open people's eyes and say, well, okay, that's easy to say, but what's the solution? Your water bottle in front of you.
This one.
Yes. That plastic?
No.
The lid is. That's plastic.
Right. So
Right.
I would say to your question that I would first be concerned about single-use plastics, and then we can talk about alternatives to this.
Your cell phone there. Is it plastic?
The cases, but it's glass because I broke
the components inside of it's
screen
not
yesterday.
plastic? The components made out of it's not in plastic? They are. The water that you filled that water bottle up with, where'd you fill that water bottle up out of?
A water filling station.
All right, and it was delivered by a drink station that was plastic?
I didn't check.
The edges are. The piping coming to it. Now, you have a couple choices with the piping.
And then he goes into the whole piping thing and starts talking about PVC, and you can see her head exploding.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
Well, and
I
that's
guess
why-
we do away with plastic.
Well, let's talk about single-use plastics. Since you destroyed my argument, I want to do that instead.
Yeah.
And the funny
right,
thing is they're going to say use a paper straw, but that paper straw is going to come to you in a plastic wrapper.
Yeah, I get people all the time giving me the paper straws.
Right.
And I go, I don't want that. Give me the plastic, please, because what exactly are you doing except making yourself feel better? You put my coffee in a plastic cup with inside a plastic bag with a plastic cover, and now you want to give me a paper straw because you feel to make yourself feel good, and the paper straw doesn't work worth a crap.
Well, it really goes back to his point for this girl.
Yep. It's about making yourself feel better. That's what that's about. New Mexico revenue forecast showing signs of slowing down. Financially, New Mexico is in a great place, but thank you, oil and gas industry. According to a recent report, we could be in a bit of a slowdown when it comes to revenue growth. The latest report that came out shows New Mexico finances will remain in good shape, but the project, they project a 2.2 growth for the fiscal year 2025, over $3 billion in new money. However, the Legislative Finance Committee on Monday, experts saying that is the first time in 3 years where the rapid growth of revenue is slowing down. So when we look at a 10-year fund, that means that revenue is going to be slowed down even more than that, because we have to remember in 10 years, they want to cut off our dependency on oil and gas. Wait a
If they cut off oil and gas, that's when the revenue is going to slow down. Otherwise, this is Democrat math. Okay?
Right.
You're going at record levels, and if you come off of that, you're still higher than you were, but they say, "Oh, you lost.
We're
down."
way higher than we've ever been.
Yeah, so it's still way
We're still
more.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but now the one thing we have to check ourselves when it comes to spending.
Absolutely.
I mean, we have to check ourselves and slow down spending. That's the deal that we got to do. Local judge set a bond for Chaves County Detention Center inmates accused of battering and stabbing another inmate back in June. Chaves County Magistrate Judge James Mason set the bond for 30-year-old Cody Brown for $2,500 cash. or $2,500 cash bond. Brown is charged with one count of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, possession of a deadly weapon, and by an inmate, and tampering with evidence back in June of 2029 when he injured another man. Court records indicate that Justin Martinez, 20 years old, and Gabriel Gonzalez, 35 years old, and Damian Ramos, 21-year-old, were all inmates at the time and are all charged with aggravated battery with a deadly weapon and other additional charges. This case, like I said, dates back to June. Chicago mayor launches laws penalizing bus companies for dropping off illegal aliens in their sanctuary city. So now he wants to penalize the bus companies.
Sure. Because it's the only way they can go after something.
Right.
Yeah. Brandon Johnson, the mayor, can we actually maybe petition the federal government to stop the influx of people? I mean, the first thing that you need to do is admit that you have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is we're allowing way too many people to come into the country.
So the solution is to drop them off at the city limits.
Yes. Well, we'll just put them in the county. How about that? Nah. Not a great example for kids. Patrick Mahomes says that he regrets his sideline outbursts as the Chiefs lost. Look, Patrick Mahomes has been a good example for kids from college to the pros.
Mm-hmm.
I don't judge him by one outburst. In fact, I say he's pretty passionate, which is good because there are plenty of people just taking the paycheck.
Well,
now, if you could possibly keep your brother shut up and your wife, you would be so much better off.
Now, the thing with that call on Sunday was that.
Do we have to get back into that?
We
discussed it.
No, we didn't make this point yesterday. Was the fact that receiver was just a foot over the line. Now, it didn't affect the play at all. It didn't affect the play at all.
Yes, it did. He was offsides.
No, it may. Yeah, he was offside.
He had an extra foot.
But it's like this. Well, the referee's got to warn him. No.
Why?
Because
my God, how many times are we going to split this hair?
Well, let me say this though, as a softball official, when a player comes up to the batter's box and asks me for vocal,
no, that's softball. This is football.
Same thing.
No,
I don't have to give him
two different sports.
I don't have to warn
Tom.
him that you cannot come up to the plate.
Apples and oranges, Tom.
It ain't apples and oranges.
Softball, football, two different sports.
We discussed this at length yesterday. I don't want to get into the same discussion. It's over. Patrick Mahomes, the point of this story is not Tom A saying he's a softball referee. The point is that Patrick Mahomes says he regrets acting the way he did. End of story.
Which is the right thing for him to do.
He owned it. That's good.
The right thing for him to do is to say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Which 739. Tom on the text without the umpire stories.
But it was a good analogy.
Tom, hell no, it wasn't.
Tom, these football professionals have played this sport long enough that they should know without having to be told that they are offsides, says the text. Yep, you're right about that. And Kevin, I feel bad for parents nowadays. You have to be able to explain the birds and the bees and the bees and the birds and the birds and the birds that used to be the bees, that used to be the birds.
It's more difficult. I will say that.
Right. Yeah. And it looks like the bees that look like the birds and still got a stinger, says the texter. Good point. You know what, Kevin, says the texter? Either Rwanda or Guyana. Or what is that, Guyana or Guyana?
It's pronounced Guyana, but it's Rwanda because that's what they're talking about.
It's Rwanda. And, the Gremlins, this texter is saying, is the all-time best Christmas movie.
It's a good one.
Gremlins?
Mm-hmm. You dropped them in the water and they multiply, right? That's the way that movie went.
Well, and if you feed them after midnight and all that stuff, yeah.
All right.
Happened at Christmas time. It was a Christmas movie.
So, and every
kind
time.
of reminds me of the Filipinos. You drop them in the water and they multiply. All of a sudden, people having babies everywhere.
Be happy.
Watch where you swim.
Mm. You know, Tommy in Carlsbad has one text. He said, every time the price of goods goes up, the government gets a raise. I'm getting awfully sick of them getting rich off our suffering.
Hey, I just got a $200 raise from Social Security.
Really?
Yeah.
He's lying. He didn't get one.
Why would I lie about that?
Because I'm not getting
we
one.
Got a cost of living expense raise.
Yeah. His logic is because he's not getting one. Have you got a check yet?
In a few days.
Have you got a check yet?
No.
Then how do you know if you got a raise?
Because
and by
you haven't got
way,
a check.
Because the raise.
Blake, wait. Hold up, Blake. Who told him that there was a waiting period and he didn't listen?
Who
was that, Tom?
I don't know who that was. But anyway, the raise comes next month, and it ain't $200.
It's a percentage.
Tom, it's percentage. Oh my God! Please help me
All
deal
Social
with
Security raises are percentages.
Yes, but B says he's getting $200.
Yes, because his percentage came out to be $200. Do you know how the percentage of money works?
Yeah.
So, if it's say 3%, what is 3% of $100?
That's what everybody's getting is a 3% raise.
Okay, and if they start out making more,
my 3% is different than your 3%.
right? And for easy, 3% of $100 is what? $3. Okay, I saw the look. So 3% of $200 is how much?
$6.
Right. So somebody making $200 is going to get $6, and the person making $100 is going to get $3. So it's the same percentage, different amount.
His head's about to explode.
I know. I can see the look.
All right, 742. Let's get to taking out trash, being brought to you by Trash Eaters, trash-eaters.com, 575-390-4549, trash-eaters.com. They do residential trash pickup. Give them a call today, reminding you to give to the Lovington Animal Shelter. They can spay and neuter the animals and ship them off to a no-kill facility. Look, they need volunteers and they need monetary donations so they can spay and neuter the animals and ship them off to a no-kill facility. 575-552-3669. Call Lovington Animal Shelter today. Democrats are combining all their gun control plans into one comprehensive bill. The Second Amendment advocates say that this bill has little chance of passage, but shows gun control activists have the idea on the direction they want to go. So the Democrats have reintroduced a previously failed proposal that represent every bill that they've ever introduced when it comes to guns. The Gun Violence Prevention and Community Safe Act of 2023 has been introduced into Congress each session since 2015. And Elizabeth Warren reintroduced that act yesterday. She wrote on her website that the legislation is vital to ending gun violence in the United States. We're in the gun violence crisis. 2023 is on track to be the most mass shootings in recent history, and gun violence is now the leading cause of death for children. I think I've debunked that before. That gun violence is not the leading cause of death. Anyway, they have reintroduced the bill, and it's not going to pass. But they'll spend a lot of money, and they'll waste a lot of your time. I'm taking out the trash. Things that happen on this date in history coming up. I want to look up about the leading cause of death. Tom in the text.
All right, so come on, Tom. You're going to get your Social Security raise as well. But you know what? It takes effect January 1, so calm your horses, says the texter. Another one says, it ain't fair. You're right about that. And Zelensky on this other text, in Washington today, taking to our young soldiers, not good, says, talking to our young soldiers is not good, says the texter.
Why the hell can I type?
Right.
It says motor vehicle death.
Right. Yes. Is it vehicle death?
Yeah.
So an out and out lie by the liberals. Imagine that.
Now, it says that firearm-related injuries are the second leading cause of death, but that includes suicide and every other thing.
Oh, yeah. Accidental.
And what are we talking about when we consider a child? Is that end at 18?
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I got a cut from Nikki Haley talking about her kid, and her kid's like 26.
And then
would you consider it a kid?
No, at 18. It says drug overdose and poisoning is the third.
Really? Wow.
So, out and out lie. All right, 746. Trump and Biden. CNN discussed that.
These are bad news for Joe Biden. There's an enthusiasm gap that the Biden team needs to confront. But as you point out, that fact that, these court cases, they go forward, that could be a major 2x4 across Donald Trump.
Every case you bring against Donald Trump means more people voting for him. True story. Yeah, I mean, true story, more and more. And Hunter Biden's attorney is quite upset with the new charges coming out against Hunter Biden.
Your point is well taken, sir. But let me ask you, what have they said to you? What did prosecutors say to you and to your client as to why things changed?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So they said nothing. Indeed, this was a complete surprise to us, notwithstanding we had been in contact with them. Indeed, I think about a week ago, I called the U.S. Attorney's Office for a status check so that I could come in and talk to them if they had any idea that they wanted to bring any additional charges after the gun charges. And at the time of that telephone conversation, they said, no, you already had that meeting.
By the way, probably more interesting this question would be, so is he innocent? Is he innocent? Yeah, because we know he didn't pay his taxes, among other things. And here's Nikki Haley and her daughter. This was a ABC News. They interviewed Nikki Haley and her daughter, and about Ramaswamy talking about Nikki Haley's daughter. I mean, look, I don't want anybody bringing a kid into discussion. Look, Barron Trump is under the age of 18. Right. He's a kid.
Right.
He's a kid. And I felt the same way when Hillary Clinton's daughter, Chelsea, was a kid. A kid. Same thing about the Obama girls when they were kids. But a 25, 26-year-old, at that point, they're not kids anymore.
Right.
They're adults.
How did you feel when Vivek Ramaswamy brought you into the debate talking about that you were a TikTok user?
I mean, I felt like it was unnecessary. I feel like it's a kind of a, people know not to bring kids into a situation, and so I felt like it was kind of uncalled for. But
when they say something about her, and I know she's sitting in that front row, as a mom, I get my back up. But she's been a real support and good energy, and I love that.
So, not a kid, though. Not a kid. She's an adult, and so I have no issues with him. And it shows, the hypocrisy of going after TikTok. And yesterday we have the story about Facebook and the lawsuit coming from New Mexico because it's links to child predatory stuff. Let's worry about all the social media. And look, I'm not on TikTok a whole bunch. I'm going to be honest. I'm not. But I don't like the government telling me what I can be on and what I can't be on.
Right.
That's my whole point. All right, looks like Space Force missile defense interceptor tested and takes out a target. Remember when Donald Trump started talking about Space Force? Everybody made fun of him.
I would so sign up to do that.
And now it's a reality. And look, we're not alone. China has their own Space Force. It's a thing of the future.
Their logo It looks so much like the Federation of Planets from Star Trek.
Does it? I didn't see.
Yeah, it's it's the same.
But they made fun of Donald Trump when he started talking about Space Force.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, he doesn't know what he's talking about, blah, blah, blah. And nobody's saying anything about Joe Biden right now. Nothing. New Mexico now has a helpline for public health questions. 1-833-796-8773. So, Tom, if you have any questions about your health care, you can call that number, and there'll be a nurse on duty that can help you with your health questions.
No.
If I eat a burrito and a Snickers, will that bring my sugar up? Oh, it will. Okay. All right. Looks like a 52-foot whale died on the beach in San Diego. Did you see this story?
No, I didn't.
52-foot whale.
A big whale.
Humpback?
Just washed up and died. And people were kind of freaking out. And the cause of death, how much does a 52-foot whale weigh, Tom?
I bet you 52 tons.
I'm going to guess about 12 tons.
50 tons.
Wow.
50
I was right on money.
Was it a humpback whale? What kind of whale was it?
Killer whale.
Whale found on a beach, 52. Dead fin whale.
Oh, a fin whale. Okay.
Dead fin whale. And cause of death, they don't know at this point. Could it be the wind farms that they put up in the ocean?
Most likely. They've been having trouble, especially for humpbacks. That's why I was guessing it was a humpback.
Exactly. Average American doesn't start drinking responsibly until the age of 29. 29 before people start drinking responsible. Yeah. 29, the average. Craziness. Tom in the text. We're going to take a break. I got things that happened on this date in history coming up next.
All right. So the text is saying, don't make it too hard for him to think. I mean, he'll have to run to the restroom again. It's just too much pressure for him. Says the texter. Okay, well, whatever. And my texts have disappeared.
Oh, just disappeared. Got one job.
No, hit the back arrow, and they'll all be there.
It's back. Now it's back. And when was Tom in San Diego, California? Earlier in the summer.
Yeah, but when they spotted Tom on the beach, that was a very, very rare brown whale.
I don't even go to the beach. It's just too nasty. When I went to Hawaii, I didn't go.
Why would the beach be nasty? I love the beach.
Yeah.
Really?
I love the smell of the beach.
I would be there right now if I could.
The beaches in the Philippines are nasty, ain't they?
No. Have you not seen his photos?
They look nasty to me.
Are you calling sand nasty?
Water's nasty over there.
The water is crystal clear.
It's turquoise blue.
There's a lot of fish over there.
There's fish everywhere.
Fish in the ocean. Oh, my goodness.
They bring a different element to the environment. Fish do. I'm just saying.
Oh, God.
Oh.
You cannot fix stupid. Not even with duct tape. Can't do it. All right, we're going to get to our national anthem and our pledge. Quick check of the weather. Sunny today, except for later this afternoon. We got a 30% chance of rain. High temperature 56. Rain tonight, 50% chance, 100% chance of rain on Wednesday. Thursday, a 90% chance of rain. I think it's going to start, they say, clearing up on Friday. Maybe by the afternoon. Quick check of the weather being brought to you by Maine Trailer Sales. Don't go camping without Maine Trailer Sales. Serving Southeast New Mexico, largest inventory of new and pre-owned models. They've been in business now close to 70 years. How do you stay in business that long? Fair pricing, great customer service, and service on the units after the sale. I mean, those are the benchmarks of any great company, especially in the service industry. They give great deals, and that's why people keep coming back. Generational people keep coming back. You got people that did business with them, and now their grandkids are now buying units from Main Trailer Sales. 575-622-1751, or go take the virtual tour of every one of their units at maintrailersalesinc.com. We're going to get you updated, find out what's going on with news. That's on the way. Keep listening for your chance to win a trip. Details coming up in just a second. All right, things that happened on this date in history up next. Tom and the text first, though.
All right, so this texter said, man, I am going to die from brain injury listening to Tom every morning. Laugh my A off.
Well, if you can't go in the ocean because of the fish, that means you can't stay on the land because of the wild animals.
Yes.
What's that got to do with fish?
I'm just saying.
See, Blake don't make sense sometimes.
I love fish. I love the ocean. I love the smell of the ocean.
Ooh.
Me too.
I love watching the waves.
Well, this texture Mama Bear says, ain't nothing like swimming in the ocean. It's wonderful.
She is correct.
I like, seeing females in bikinis. And let me preface that. I like seeing females that were born as females.
Right.
In bikinis. I had to make sure and correct myself. Sorry about that, Tom. All right, things that happen on this date in history being brought to you by our buddies at the Twin Wells Fuel Station. Find them today right off of 128. So you exit 128. If you're driving that road between Jowl and Carlsbad, you need fuel, exit on Buck Jackson Road, go down 2.75 miles and fill up with diesel, DEF value, red diesel, green diesel, unleaded. They've got it all. They accept all credit cards, debit cards, and fleet cards. So next time you're running low on fuel, exit 128, go down on Buck Jackson Road and fill her up today. John Jay was born in this state in 1745. He became the first Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. On this date in 1787, Pennsylvania became the second state in the United States. 1792, Beethoven received his first music lesson on this date in history. Mary Todd Lincoln was born on this date in 1818.
She was Abe's wife.
Yeah, and love plays for whatever reason. George Grant patented the golf tee on this date in 1877. Here's a great thing. If you play golf with Tom, he hits every ball off the tee.
That's an extra stroke.
Yeah.
And then tries to say that it's legal.
Nope.
Which it is not.
If you put it up on the tee, that's an extra stroke.
Yeah. First legal signal to cross the Atlantic, radio signal to cross the Atlantic, happened near St. John's, Newfoundland on this date in 1901. Boys Town was founded in 1917. Kevin Spacey could be listening, so please don't say that loud. Now, it's not the Boys Town I was thinking of. It's a different, it's on this side of the border. Very first motel called the Motel Inn opened up in California on this date in 1925. Chuck Yeager flew X-1, 2.5 times the speed of sound in 1953. Needless to say, it was very, very loud and very, very fast. Hovercraft was patented on this date in 1955. And in 2000, the Supreme Court released its decision in the case of Bush versus Gore. Tom, what happened in that case?
Well, it simply said that the what do you call the hanging chads? Hanging chips?
Chads.
Chads. That that's their case was, look, man, we got cheated out of those votes. But the Supreme Court said, nope, you didn't. And George Bush became the president of the United States.
National Ding-a-Ling Day going on all day today. National Poinsettia Day, Gingerbread House Day, International Day of Neutrality. 12 days of Christmas technically starts today. Am I right about that?
Today is the 12th.
Yeah.
No, because I think it runs after.
13?
Yeah.
Starts on 13?
Like, I think part of the 12 days of Christmas run through, like, New Year.
Well, if you're Puerto Rican, it runs through the 6th of January.
Yeah. Hank Williams III having a birthday is 51. Jennifer Connelly is 53.
Really? Oh.
Sherry Wilson is 65. She played April on Dallas. Kathy Rigby is 71 years old. She's a former gymnast, still in pretty good shape. Dionne Warwick is 83 years old. She's looking for a place in San Jose. And Connie Francis,
do you know
looking for where the boys are, is 85 years old today.
He's still around. Wow.
By the way, if it's your birthday today, happy birthday going out to you. We got to get to the national anthem and the pledge. Tom, quickly.
All right, Tommy in Carlsbad. You know, we will have to defend the swamp in order for them to stop harming us. The Bill of Rights says that they are not to harm us. If we can't drain the swamp, let's defund it, says Tommy in Carlsbad this morning, chiming in. B?
I get one. Thank you, Tom.
Well, you
Thank
said,
you.
You said quickly.
Well, quickly is mean no BS in between, but I appreciate it. 802 KWMW, Mount Jamar, 105.1 FM, National Anthem and the Pledge this morning being brought to you by our friend Rebecca Long. She's your Farmers Insurance agent, has been for 40-plus years. She started that business when she was 19 years of age. Started at 19, still helping people today. She could show you how to save money on all your insurance by bundling it together. So if you've got multiple policies, and in some cases, multiple policies at different places, she could take all those policies, roll them into one, bundle them all together, and save you tons of money. And let me just say, if you're a young family just starting out, life insurance is very important to you. You might not even know how important it is. But how many times do you find out that somebody that you know, just starting out, young couple, and something bad happens to one of the partners, and now they're down to one income, and they can't make it? Life insurance it's something nobody wants to speak about, but it's so important. Call Rebecca. She will walk you through the steps. And when you're young, life insurance is very, very cheap. 575-393-2661. Call her today. Rebecca Long, proud sponsor of the National Anthem and the Pledge on W105.
Good morning. My name is Jack Zeeble. Time for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
God bless America. God bless you. It's 8:06. The Lord's Prayer being brought to you by Judah Oil, reminding you God is in control.
Dear Father in heaven, look on us as your children and grant that we may feel you in the highest good for time and eternity.
Hi, this is Felicia Bowen with Judah Oil. Please join me in our Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Quick check of the weather being brought to you by North Star Laundry. You can find them in Carlsbad and in Loving. They can take care of all your laundry, wash, dry, and fold your clothes, starch them up, keep you looking good, press your clothes, and also they can dry clean your clothes. Or if you want to take care of all your clothes by yourself, not a problem. They have coin-operated machines at all of their locations. Open 7 days a week in Carlsbad and in Loving. Find them in Carlsbad at 609 West Lee Street and at 604 West Church Street in Carlsbad, and in Loving, 406 West Cedar. North Star Laundry, check them out today. We got rain in the forecast this afternoon, into tonight, into tomorrow, and all the way through at least Friday morning. 5-day forecast, check it out yourself, W105radio.com. Boob of the day is on the way. It's 8:08. News this morning being brought to you by Ragsdale Law Firm, Luke Ragsdale. You can take care of any case that if you've gotten involved in a criminal matter, need somebody to defend you, he can take care of you there. If you've been in an accident, call Luke Ragsdale, settling cases like a $10 million case in the Patch, $9 million case, and a medical malpractice case. Been involved in a car accident, slip and fall, he can take care of you. Call him, 575-208-5300, or the RagsdaleLawFirm.com. Call Luke Ragsdale today. 8:08, taking a break. We're W105.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Another report that inflation is slowing down. The Labor Department's Consumer Price Index of what Americans are paying for goods and services.
Month over month for November, up 0.1%. Year over year at 3.1%, down just a fraction from last month's read of 3.2%.
Chuck Stoney with Fox Business. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky meets with members of Congress and President Biden in Washington today. Both presidents are asking Congress to approve more aid for Ukraine's war against Russia. Republicans want that tied to more U.S. border security.
This is a tough sell to convince some on Capitol Hill to give Ukraine more money after they've already shelled out $118 billion of taxpayer cash to the country. So President Biden is bringing Ukrainian President Zelensky here to make the case for why they need more money.
Fox's Hillary Vaughn in D.C. Presidents Biden and Zelensky hold a joint press conference at 4:15 p.m. Eastern. America's listening to Fox News.
Working for the GEO Group at Lee County Correctional Facility in Hobbs is not going to be anything like you see on reality TV. The true reality of the GEO Group start at $20 an hour with no training. The GEO Group will pay you while you're trained to be a corrections officer. You get a 90-day $1,000 sign-on bonus, and then you get another $1,000 bonus upon certification completion. The GEO Group is proud to offer a community setting built for true rehabilitation through structured living and an incredible staff. Join the family today. GEO Group at Lee County Correctional Facility. Apply online at jobs.geogroup.com or call Jade at 575-392-4055. GEO Group is an equal opportunity employer.
It's truck season at Sierra Blanca Motors in beautiful Ruidoso. Shop their lot. All
for flowing with Ram Tough trucks. For a limited time, Sierra Blanca Motors is offering an unprecedented 13% under MSRP on their entire inventory of new 2023 half, 3/4, and 1-ton Ram trucks in stock. Shop online at SierraBlancaMotors.com. Sierra Blanca Motors, your 4-wheel drive headquarters. No gimmicks, no markups, no addendums, ever.
For a working man, protection on the job is always first priority. But when it comes to clothes, safety shouldn't compromise style and comfort. And thanks to Wrangler flame-resistant apparel, it doesn't have to. Now the same Wrangler style and comfort you love comes with the protection you need. And with a product guarantee for the life of the garment, they'll take the heat off of any job you take on. Stop by Benny's Western Store in Artesia or Carlsbad to try on some Wrangler flame-resistant apparel today. For the right work clothes, think inside the closet.
American Oil and Natural Gas provides a reliable energy solution, powers our economy, and ensures energy independence over foreign sources. As one of the country's leading producers, Coterra Energy has a responsibility to help meet these needs. They're growing their team and bringing on new team members who are passionate about energy and making a difference in the Permian Basin. New team members receive a sign-on bonus and have access to an incredible benefits package. To apply, text Coterra to 71441. That's COTERRA to 71441. Coterra Energy is an equal opportunity employer. Hobbs Truck and Trailer specializes in heavy-duty and medium-duty truck and trailer repair. Don't forget to take them your light-duty trucks as well. They've been serving Lee County for 8 years, and they are now located in Hobbs. They can help you with your Titan and Garnett systems, as well as your pumps and tankers. If it's related to your truck or trailer, Hobbs Truck and Trailer can service it. Located at 3220 Northwest County Road in Hobbs, and available 24 hours at 575-433-4166. That's 433-4166.
The City of Hobbs has great long-term career opportunities that promote a work-life balance while offering awesome benefits. Paid time off starts on day 1. Full-time new hires earn 12 hours per month. That's 18 days per year. With paid time off accrual and 12 paid holidays, plus a floating holiday, there's plenty of time for the family work-life balance. Apply today online at hobbsnm.org. The City of Hobbs is an equal opportunity employer and a drug-free and smoke-free workplace.
At Coffee Drilling LLC, they offer a wide range of drilling services, from small domestic water to agricultural and monitor wells. In addition to mud and rotary drilling, Coffee Drilling offers services to pre-existing wells, as well as troubleshooting of pumps and all control systems. Call Coffee Drilling today to schedule your routine maintenance or see about an upgrade to your water system. Call 505-270-1767. That's 505-270-1767. Coffee Drilling LLC, over 20 years experience and serving all of Hobbs, Lovington, and Eunice.
Deliver your letters to Santa at the Lee County Fairgrounds in Lovington during their Christmas Spirit Drive-Thru event coming up December 14th, 15th, and 16th. From 6 to 8 p.m. each evening, you can enter the fairgrounds for their Christmas Spirit Drive-Thru event from Avenue B to enjoy lights, elves, Buddy the Elf, Santa and Mrs. Claus, reindeer, and more lights. Get your picture taken with Elsa and Olaf, and of course, bring your letters to Santa. It's the Lee County Christmas Spirit Drive-Thru event December 14th, 15th, and 16th from 6 to 8 p.m.
'Tis the season to be baking. This week at Bob's Rich Way. Big inflation-fighting specials and everything for your baking needs. Food Club cake mixes, Betty Crocker brownie mixes, pie crust, all-purpose flours, granulated sugars, evaporated and condensed milk, everything on special. And in the butcher shop, whole select New York strip steak, $5.99 a pound. In produce, yellow onions, 3-pound bag, just 99 cents. And big holiday helpers. Buy $40 worth of Nestle products, get a $20 Visa gift card. Go to Nestle'sReward.com and scan the QR code in the Bob's flyer. And those are just a few of over 150 big value specials fit for the holidays this week at Bob's Rich Way, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
Good morning, USA. I got a feeling that it's gonna be a wonderful day.
Be in the Breakfast Club makes you feel normal again. Be in the Breakfast Club, powered by Carlsbad Chevy and broadcasting from the Inn of the Mountain God studio.
But I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to bed.
877-396-W105. Joe, it's 8:15. What do you mean you're going to go to bed? I know you're old, but I mean, shouldn't you take a nap like after lunch or go to bed. What the heck? Brand new survey, 60% of Japanese New Zeers say they're never getting married. Joe Biden, of course, he got remarried. And Krispy Kreme celebrating the Day of the Dozen. That happens today. Sending holiday cheer all over the place. And your blood sugar spiking because you get an extra donut. The Day of the Dozen.
The baker's dozen.
Tom, you ever ate a dozen donuts in one sitting?
I have.
You have? Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I ate a dozen donut holes.
I had, during the day. I mean, it wasn't like in one, through the day.
Okay.
I remember that when you took a bite out of one donut and left it in the box.
Well,
Mandy remembers that too.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that story.
Yeah, that was the beginning of the end.
Well, I don't know.
Right there.
See that little red button right there?
Didn't have time to do it.
Yeah,
but
you push that.
Yeah, I mean, he's having a coughing attack after remembering the dozen donuts.
I didn't think
and
nobody
then he pushes
noticed
the button after.
And I didn't eat it. I mean, I cut it in half.
No, you took a bite out of it and then put it back in the box.
You took a bite out of it and put it back in the damn box. Black bear ran through a group of people at a resort in California. One man, saw the bear running past him. By the way, this was at a ski resort.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the bear had a one-day pass, making sure he got to all the destinations in one trip.
There's a video of it. He runs.
Yeah, can you
by
imagine all of a sudden a black bear running past you? What the hell is going on? Let's scare the bejesus out of you.
Well, and all the people handled it right. They didn't panic. They didn't run. They didn't do any of that. They just
because they were too busy getting their phones out.
Yeah, that's true.
China had built a dozen quarantine centers during the height of COVID, and they're taking those no longer used centers and turning them into affordable housing for young workers. Oh, like slave labor, and this is where dorms for the slaves? Is that what you're saying? And the body of a 150 million year old dinosaur was discovered on a British cliff.
Wow.
Experts have already uncovered the sea monster's 7-foot skull. Did you see that story?
How many
By the
years?
way,
115?
Had 130 teeth.
Wow. But really, if you think about it, the Earth is not that old. It may be 6,000 years old. So that dinosaur can't be millions of years old.
Okay, so the experts say 150 and 150 million years.
Will tell
Tom
you whatever they want. Those scientists can't determine ages of dinosaurs like that.
There you go.
If
All
you
right.
go in Glen Rose, Texas, where they have
I've been
a
there.
lot of dinosaurs and stuff, there's a creation museum, and they talk about the age of the Earth.
What did they say about it?
And they are older than what you said.
About 8,000 years old?
8 to 10 is what they say.
So there's
By the
logic
way,
to my
we don't want to hear about your ex-girlfriend. I understand you know about dinosaurs, but we don't want to hear about her. Okay? God bless you. Doctor in West Virginia says he's been dealing with patients who are addicted to both fentanyl and a second drug, which is a livestock tranquilizer. And I've been hearing about this too. That's big, like in Philadelphia. Go on YouTube and look up the zombies that are in Philadelphia and Detroit, and the list goes on. And it is a mixture of this tranquilizer and fentanyl. You got tranked. I just don't look. I kind of get it why people would want to stay up for days upon days upon days, especially if they're going on robbing sprees and that type of stuff. I get it. Or they're driving a truck across the United States. I get that. but wanting to be like bent over and like on a tranquilizer, I don't get, for whatever reason, I don't get that.
No, if you want to stay up, that's what cocaine is for.
Well, yeah. Our methamphetamine. That was my point. But I don't get the whole idea where you want to go to sleep.
No.
And that's what fentanyl and the livestock tranquilizer does. It puts you to sleep. I don't get it.
Forever.
Looks like Golden Globe nominees. Barbie, the big winner. And Trevor Nolan is going to host that coming up. When is that? Sunday, January 7th.
So will they go from the Golden Globes to the Pink Globes?
Probably.
All right.
Monday Night Football last night. Tennessee beat Miami. Final score 28-27.
There's 2 games.
Derrick Henry ran for a 3-yard go-ahead touchdown with a minute 49 to go.
And the Giants beat the Packers.
Yeah.
Well, Miami will host Dallas next weekend, by the way.
And Aaron Rodgers is saying he's coming back.
Why?
I have no idea, but he could be cleared to play before Christmas. Unbelievable. And I don't know why you would come back. I wouldn't. I'd be like, I'll see you next season.
Well, yeah. He's
I'm
older.
off in the Bahamas.
He needs to heal.
He needs to heal, right?
Well, he's trying to say, he's got all those mushrooms and, he's doing the different typing.
That kind of reminds me. Did you guys see that new show called King Charles on CNN? It's Charles Barkley who's on that show with Gail, Oprah's friend.
There's 2 reasons why I didn't watch it right there.
Well, here's the deal. Now, let me say this.
3 reasons.
Charles tells it like it is, and I'm sure they didn't like it. All right. There was a liberal reporter on the show talking about Joe Biden and his age. And she said, well, he's old. And then Charles said to her, well, how old do you think he is? Well, he's not that old. And Charles said, he's old as far as running for president again.
If we'd have a drunk Charles Barkley, I think it would be worth watching, because have you ever seen the videos when Barkley's drunk? That's interesting. I find that interesting. But Charles Barkley and Gail, Oprah's best friend Gail, just not appealing to me.
Tune in one day. It's on tomorrow.
It's just not appealing to me, Tom. I know you being the liberal, I get it's appealing to you. The governor, Michelle Lujan Grisham, announced that she is targeting in-school campaigns to combat gun violence. Here's a great idea, Gov. Armed guards and armed teachers, a well-trained teaching force could keep a gunman away from school. But in this case, it was a kid that got his hands on a gun and brought the gun to school. And in this case, wasn't it 2 kids playing with a gun?
Yes, in a car.
It wasn't gun violence as you're making it out to be. No, it was 2 kids playing with a gun.
Yeah, and they should be taught how to handle a firearm, and that kind of thing wouldn't happen.
So it wasn't gun violence. It was 2 kids playing with a gun.
It was an accident.
Should they have had the gun? Absolutely not. But not gun violence. But I'm sure you will take that and run with it.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt. To serve your own self.
Just like the drive-by shooting that she used to start all this.
Right, yeah, 100% correct. Why don't you look into gang activity in Albuquerque? That would be a start right there. All right, 824 morning show this morning being brought to you by Rig Outfitters in the home store. Find them in the Broadmoor Mall. They have an extensive collection of FR jeans and coveralls, gloves, work boots, steel toe boots. They've got everything, and furniture, appliances, and electronics. Go in there, talk to our buddy Joe, and talk to him about zero down financing. Right next door is Scrub Outfitters. If you work in the medical field and you need scrubs, go check them out. They have the largest selection of scrubs in 100 miles. If they don't have the design you're looking for, please don't just walk out of the store. Tell them, hey, I'm looking for this color and this design, and could you get them for me? I guarantee you they will work with you for sure. Scrub Outfitters, Rig Outfitters, check them out in the Broadmoor Mall. Tom, you remember this guy. He was a wide receiver back in the day.
Okay.
Remember Caruth?
Yes, Ray Caruth for the Carolina Panthers.
Yes. He killed his pregnant girlfriend.
Well, he had someone kill her for him. But he conspired to do it, though.
She was killed, not with his hands, but he paid so he killed her. Okay?
Well, he hired a guy to kill her. Yeah.
You want to split hairs? We'll split hairs. He killed her. He gave the word to kill her. He still went to jail.
Yep, sure did.
Anyway, he's dead.
Yeah, the guy who killed her, yeah.
No, he's dead.
Who is dead?
Caruth is dead.
No. He's still alive. He's very much alive.
No, he's very much dead.
Yesterday.
Huh?
He died
very
yesterday.
much dead.
No, Ray Caruth is alive.
He died yesterday.
No, he did not. The guy who killed her is dead, but he's alive. Matter of fact, he got out of jail in 2018 after serving 24 years.
Okay.
What does the story say, Kevin?
The story is wrong. I'm going to look it up myself.
The story is wrong. Is that what you just said?
Yes, sir.
That's what he said. Investigating police shooting involving the Gallup Police Department. According to investigators, a Gallup officer called to a disturbance at the Western Sky Road was involved in the shooting. 21-year-old man was asked to leave the home and refused. As the officer approached, the man walked towards the vehicle, and after opening the door, a gun fell to the ground. He picked up the gun and, according to police, assumed a firing stance, and that's when the police shot him in Gallup. Suspect was able to get away onto I-40, and that's when police used stop sticks to stop the vehicle.
Hey, Tom is right. Tom is right about Ray Caruth. It was the hit. Yeah. He got released. Ray got released from prison on Monday in 2018.
Yep.
And the accomplice is dead.
Yep.
Tom scores one.
Yeah.
Boy, that's first time. That's wow. Tom, you ever thought about having perfect butt? Like a
perfect butt.
Yeah, like Captain America. Never thought about that.
No.
The number one procedure that plastic surgeons are performing on guys is the butt lift.
Oh my gosh.
You ever thought about getting a butt lift?
I haven't considered it lately, no.
Well, that's a whole lot of butt to lift. By the way, there's another reason, another way to get the glutes back where they need to be. Just do some lunges. And eventually the glutes will go back where they are supposed to be.
All
right.
I got the puzzled look when you said that.
So you do lunges.
Lunges? Yeah, I do lunges.
Demonstrate in the studio. Let me look at the camera. Go ahead and demonstrate how you do a lunge.
I go to the buffets and eat lunch.
No. Go ahead. I'm watching on the camera. Go ahead.
He said he goes to the buffet and eats lunch.
That's what he said, right? I do lunches?
Lunge.
Oh.
Some lunges.
Do a lunge right there, Tom. Yeah, that affects your butt.
Yeah, of course it does. Only if you're talking with your mouth. All right, we're going to talk about a guy that, what a Grinch, went to a school and said Santa is fake.
Uh-oh.
Look. So we'll get to that coming up next. We got to get to the boob of the day, being brought to you by Desert Functional Medicine and Aesthetics. Medical professionals on staff. They offer stem cell therapy, ozone therapy, the cryotherapy. If you're living in pain, any of those three can help you. Functional medicine is natural medicine. When it comes to natural remedies, using herbs and vitamins and natural remedies to help you heal. They offer hormonal optimization. They also offer, of course, testosterone for guys. If you are not feeling well, I encourage you to please listen to your body. Go get the deep dive into your blood work done. Find out what's going on. 3900 North Lovington Highway in Hobbs. Online at thedesertfma.com. Check them out on Facebook. Desert Functional Medicine Aesthetics, proud sponsor of the Boob of the Day.
All right, so a lot of people have ridiculous stories from when they were young and stupid. And if this guy can turn his life around, he's going to have a pretty good one. So there's a 23-year-old guy from Florida. Where else? His name is Anthony Lisa, and he was arrested last Friday after a drunken outburst at a restaurant, which included throwing gator nuggets. Now, those are like chicken nuggets, except they're made out of alligator. So when someone confronted him, he ran over to a life-size manatee statue, which is outside the restaurant, and wears a t-shirt that says, "Did someone say tacos?" Then, according to the report, Anthony began to molest the manatee. Now, thankfully, they didn't get any more into detail about that, what that entailed. But the police showed up and charged him with disorderly intoxication and disturbance. He was booked and released, according to the internet. Anthony is a student pilot at a flight school in Florida, and I'm not sure if it's one of the same ones that taught the terrorists how to fly the planes on 9/11. But for molesting a life-size manatee statue, Anthony Lisa, you are the boob of the day.
Manatee now is in therapy.
Right?
It's not doing well. Boob of the day, brought to you by Desert Functional Medicine and Aesthetics. Check them out today. Good news of the day, not that far away. Sad story. You can't mess with the animals like that.
Well, thank goodness it was a statue and not a real one.
San Francisco Democrat says that the homeless crisis in San Francisco is absolutely a result of capitalism. Damn capitalism. Supervisor Dean Preston claims the city's homeless problem was absolutely the result of capitalism, and it was counterproductive to arrest people for doing drugs openly. Preston from District 5, a known open market drug market right there in District 5. Nearly half of the city's homeless population lives in his district. The Democratic Socialist supervisor argued that the district is affected by the homeless people because of the country's economic structure. Capitalism. Capitalism is the problem.
You know who else was called Democratic Socialist? The
AOC.
The Nazis.
Oh, yes.
They were the Democratic Socialist Party. So obviously this guy is a Nazi, like a real one.
By the way, he said nobody that's doing drugs should be arrested. Well, let me get this right. Isn't drugs against the law?
Yes.
So if they possess the drugs, that's against the law. And if they're using drugs in the street, there's got to be a law against that. It's counterproductive to arrest people. Let's provide them housing. And that way they have a place to shoot up, not in the streets. Now you get where I'm going.
Hey, you can provide them housing. It's called jail. Right.
Yeah, they want to spend billions of dollars building the homeless housing. Sounds like a great idea. All right, how would you feel if this guy goes to your kids' or grandkids' school and yells that Santa Claus is not real?
Isn't that kind of like the atheists that kind of do the same thing at churches?
So this guy from Osuna Elementary School goes to the school in Albuquerque and starts yelling outside Santa is fake. Jesus is real. He was dressed in the Grinch costume at the time. So, look, I get where you're going. Jesus is real. Santa, but telling the kids this is not. You're destroying the magic. I understand there's a bigger message about Jesus. By the way, parents started yelling back at him. 45 minutes outside the school making a scene. This seems a little counterproductive to me. This is like the same people back in the day in Roswell, the street preachers that would go outside a drinking establishment and yell, or go to a football game.
Right.
And yell, Jesus is alive. Choose Jesus, not football. Well, can't you choose both?
Right.
Can't you choose both? Man, you really need to find a job. I'm saying, Mr. Grinch, go find a job. Leave the kids alone.
At least he was wearing the right costume.
Right.
Yeah, at least he was. God bless him. All right, 836. Tom A., wrap up the text.
All right, so this texter is asking me, Tom, what is a manatee? Well, it's a mammal that's in the water. It lives in the water. How's about that? Right?
That's correct at its base level, yes.
At its base level. Okay, you know what, guys? It's going to snow because Tom got it right about Ray Caruth. I knew that all the time. And tell Kevin, says this text, to get his information right. He's always knocking Tom on Tom.
I apologize. I read the story wrong.
Yeah, I made my case, so there you go.
Tom gets one right.
He did
oh, my
get
God.
one right.
Yeah.
Hey, the world is... He bought me lunch the other day, breakfast lunch, whatever
The world
you call
is
it.
upside down. I'm just saying, the world is completely upside down.
All right, so we have an update on that accident now that occurred earlier this morning on 128, Highway 128 and Delaware Basin Road, and the traffic is stacking up on Highway 128, according to this texter. Just texted Lee County people, hopefully get an update from them. This report being brought to you by
Luke Ragsdale, RagsdaleLawFirm.com. Check him out today.
And
reminding you, slow down, be safe, and get home to your family.
There you go. And how about lounges, not lunches, says the texter.
It says lunges.
Well, that's what I thought. They said lunches.
And by the way, the Cowboys play the Bills next.
Right.
Not Miami. You said they play Miami.
Oh, I was wrong. Hey, by the way,
well, he's a big Cowboy fan. I mean, now that the Buffs are off, he's a huge Cowboys fan.
Well, they play the Dolphins next after that ball game, after the Buffalo game. Hey, by the way, Jesus doesn't like the Cowboys. Jethro is saying this morning. Yeah, but they're on a 5-game winning streak. So there you
No, but there's lots of people I know named Jesus that do.
Right. Right. B.
All right, still to come. NRA torches the Biden administration's plan to change the rules on buying guns. I'm going to dive into this story when we come back. And that story is just up on Fox just now. So I'm going to dive. I haven't read it. I'm going to dive into it so I don't screw it up. 8:59, make that 8:39. Let's get updated, find out what's going on with news being brought to you by Janko Janitorial. Find them 324 West Main and Artesia, specializing in cleaning, any type of cleaning, industrial, oil field cleaning, commercial cleaning. They can do it all, cleaning windows, cleaning offices, stripping, and waxing. They can do all of that and more. And their guys and gals are all certified when it comes to hazmat certified, pathogen certified, PPE certified. 575-703-1869. Call Amber today. And if you need cleaning supplies, they got you covered there. Go to the website, Janko Janitorial, jankojanitorial.com. Coming back, it's 20 minutes away from 9. Be in the Breakfast Club on W105.
News brought to you by Stone Oilfield Services in Lovington. Getting the job done right every time since 2004.
Proudly serving most phases of the oil field process, Stone Oilfield Services has a fleet of over 60 trucks and a workforce of over 100 employees. From water transport to kill and vac truck operations, flowback services and pit filling to the clean out of rigs and tanks, as well as oiling and acidizing, Stone Oilfield believes in getting the job done right every time. Their central motto, do what you say you can do. Call them today at 575-396-1840. That's 396-1840.
MTD Radio News, I'm Jim Miller. Over the last few years, the state government's earned more money than lawmakers plan to spend on the state budget. This trend of so-called new money is likely going to continue in the upcoming fiscal year, according to budget experts. The state's Consensus Revenue Estimating Group says they expect more than $3 billion in new money. That's something lawmakers will take into account when they meet early next year to plan the state budget. New data from U.S. Census Bureau shows which New Mexico counties saw decreased poverty. Experts say New Mexico's recurring general fund revenues will be a little over $13 billion for the period of mid-2024 to mid-2025. That means revenue growth still up, but growth is not happening as fast as in recent years, they say. Much of the state's income comes from the oil and gas industry. U.S. Department of Agriculture's Forest Service has rolled out its first statewide recreation pass in New Mexico. Enchantment Pass holders will be able to access more than 30 New Mexico National Forest recreation areas for an annual fee of $40. The pass guarantees unlimited use throughout the operating season of developed day-use standard amenity-fee sites located throughout the National Forest and grasslands of New Mexico. These include the Carson, Gila, Lincoln, and Santa Fe National Forest, plus the Cibola National Forest and National Grasslands. Well, the Hobbs Public Library Board of Directors voting to approve policy changes that will expand access to library materials across the state line. Library Director Nikki Lawless presented the proposal to the board at its regular November meeting, recommending residents of Gaines County, Texas be added to the list of people who could obtain a library card in Hobbs. The idea was based on how libraries in New Mexico are funded, receiving money from individual cities' gross receipt taxes, the portion of state sales tax returned to communities periodically. The changes won't affect just Gaines County residents. Under the previous policy, individuals had to show proof of Lee County residency to obtain a library card. That excluded temporary workers living in hotels and other non-permanent dwellings. And that's what's happening. I'm Joe Miller, MTD Radio News.
Did you know that when you become employed with Eddy County, you'll be receiving one of the best and most competitive benefits packages in southeast New Mexico? Eddy County offers great pay, paid vacation, paid sick leave, and holiday pay. In addition, you get para-retirement, and for full-time employees, 100% health insurance paid and 60% for your dependents. You can find a list of open positions and apply at New Mexico Workforce Connection or online at eddycounty.org. Eddy County is an equal opportunity employer.
'Tis the season to give. Carlsbad Chevrolet has teamed up with the Faith, Hope, and Love Foundation to give back to the community and raise money for the Christmas shop. Now through December 15th, Carlsbad Chevrolet will donate $100 from every vehicle sold to the Faith, Hope, and Love Foundation. And with a lot chock full of beautiful new and pre-owned vehicles, it's never been easier to drive away knowing you've made a positive impact on a child's holiday. Make the season unforgettable for everyone. Head for Carlsbad Chevrolet because together we can make a real difference. 2155 South Canal.
There's been talk in the news that it's hard to get credit these days. Not here. Just like always, we're making auto loans. We offer competitive rates and quick service. We make our loan decisions locally, so you don't have to wait for out-of-town approval on your loan. Make this strong move. Get your auto loan from us. Estacado Federal Credit Union, where you are more than a number. You're a member. Federally insured by NCUA.
It's time to renew New Mexico. If you have Medicaid or SNAP, you must renew to keep your benefits. If you have moved, update your contact information at yes.state.nm.us or call 1-800-283-4465. You will be mailed a turquoise envelope when it is time to renew. Your Medicaid and SNAP benefits are very important. To learn more, go to renew.hsd.nm.gov and renew New Mexico.
For the free spirits drawn by the call of the West, only one brand is worthy of coming along for the ride. Wrangler. It's worn by those who round up old friends and blaze new trails, and by those who know that going off the beaten path is often pretty hard to beat. Because when you ride in Wrangler, you're always ready to saddle up for another adventure. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Wrangler. Get yours today at Rig Outfitters and Home Store, 1401 North Turner inside the Broadmoor Mall in Hobbs.
Deliver your letters to Santa at the Lee County Fairgrounds in Lovington during their Christmas Spirit drive-thru event coming up December 14th, 15th, and 16th. From 6 to 8 p.m. each evening, you can enter the fairgrounds for their Christmas Spirit drive-thru event from Avenue B to enjoy lights, elves, Buddy the Elf, Santa and Mrs. Claus, reindeer, and more lights. Get your picture taken with Elsa and Olaf, and of course, bring your letters to Santa. It's the Lee County Christmas Spirit drive-thru event December 14th, 15th, and 16th from 6 to 8 p.m.
'Tis the season to be baking. This week at Bob's Rich Way. Big inflation fighting specials and everything for your baking needs. Food Club cake mixes, Betty Crocker brownie mixes, pie crust, all-purpose flours, granulated sugars, evaporated and condensed milk, everything on special. And in the butcher shop, whole select New York strip steak, $5.99 a pound. In produce, yellow onions, 3-pound bag, just 99 cents. And big holiday helpers. Buy $40 worth of Nestle products, get a $20 Visa gift card. Go to Nestle'sReward.com and scan the QR code in the Bob's flyer. And those are just a few of over 150 big value specials fit for the holidays this week at Bob's Rich Way, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
Get rhythm. When you get the blues, come on, get rhythm.
Be in the Breakfast Club, powered by Carlsbad Chevy and broadcasting from the Inn of the Mountain God studio.
Kicking butt.
And good morning to you. Our number 877-396-W105. We'll check the weather coming up in just a second. Looks like in Paris, Ritz-Carlton Hotel found a guess's $750,000 ring inside the vacuum cleaner bag.
Wow.
Which is great because losing something like that really sucks, Tom. It really, really sucks. It's great that they found it and returned it to the rightful owner. Thank God for the little things. Thank you. Yeah. Just months after Jada Pinkett Smith revealed that she's got her memoirs coming out, she also said that her and Will Smith separated 7 years ago.
Yeah, been a while. Man, is this all just one giant publicity
That's
stunt?
what it is, man.
That's what I'm thinking. The slap that around the world at the Oscars in 2022. Meanwhile, Will Smith was spotted in Miami with a mysterious woman. Well, we think it's a woman. Latest rumors about Will Smith.
Maybe he slapped Chris Rock because Chris Rock wouldn't be part of it.
Yeah, maybe. And then what we know about Jada Pinkett Smith and the young guys, the boy toys that she likes to be with, the whole thing is just kind of crazy. All right, the NRA charging the Biden administration's plans to change the rules for gun buyers and sellers. I don't know, Blake, if you saw this story, but it just came across on Fox. I did not have it in my stack, but the National Rifle Association is lambasting the proposal from the ATF.
Mm-hmm.
And what they want to do is criminalize Americans for selling firearms and create a lot of confusion when it comes to legal gun owners engaging in firearm transactions.
Right.
So under the proposed rules, the ATF 2022 AR7, make that R17, it's just another attempt to abolish the Second Amendment rights, according to the executive director of the NRA.
Mm-hmm.
The rule blatantly disregards the recent NRA-backed rule on the Second Amendment, and it creates serious confusion when it comes to lawful owners of guns, buying and selling guns. Now, it's our right to sell guns or trade guns without going to a gun store. But they're kind of changing with that law. It changes how you could do that. The proposal would expand the definition of dealer to anybody that sells or offers to sell a firearm, and also represents a potential buyer as anybody that demonstrates the willingness to buy a firearm. So that proposal would also incorporate a bipartisan Safe Communities Act when it comes to people profiting off of gun sales.
Example, I have a gun that I no longer use or want, and it's a gun that, Kevin, you want, and so you offer to buy it from me, and I sell it to you. That would immediately become criminal without going through the government.
Yeah. So this proposal would spark confusion among gun owners about which firearm transactions require a federal firearms license and what doesn't.
Right.
That's number one. And the Biden administration is, they say, trying to combat crime. That's what they try saying that they're trying to do.
What they're really trying to do is to get ID on every single gun and who has it. Because you can say they're tracking them already, but like if you hand a gun down or you got like your granddad's gun or something like that, there's no transaction that says you got that for the government to track. But they want to know how many you have, who you got them from, who you sold them to, who you gave them to, etc. And it's part of, this is the beginning step for them to create a national gun registry.
Gun registry. Yep. That's what this is all about. Gun registry. Nothing different. Just a gun registry. No doubt.
Ask anyone in Australia if that's a good idea.
No. Yeah. By the way, everybody I talk to from Australia, don't ever give up your guns. Oh, hell no, we won't. We will not comply. The Department of Corrections in Thailand recently recaptured a 37-year-old escaped prisoner who had fled the surgical ward of a hospital. He was discovered yesterday, approximately at 7 a.m., hiding on a rooftop of a psychiatric ward. Well, at least he was in the right place. He escaped from a surgical ward. And this young man was at the surgical ward because he got a serious infection following a penis enlargement. He underwent the surgery and was recovering, but got a serious infection. By the way,
I thought it was going to be a sex change.
Yeah, no. He was just trying to. And so, why would somebody in Thailand want a bigger stuff?
Anyway, each person.
Yeah. So anyway, he has been convicted of multiple. So why, if the guy is in prison, why are you giving him a bigger penis to begin with? And my question would be, who's paying for that?
Well, but it's in Thailand, right?
Yes.
They can do what they want over there.
I guess. And it wasn't in Bangkok. Just, I know you guys. I know you. All right, Meryl Streep is making the Golden Globe Awards history. 74-year-old Streep received her 33rd career nomination.
Really?
33rd. Yep. 33rd. So congratulations going out to Meryl Streep.
Now, she's the all-time winner of the Academy Awards, isn't she? With
Ford? Is she?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is Golden Globes.
Pink
and national, are those the same thing? Golden Globes?
Well, Academy Awards? It's going to be Barbied, so.
Yeah.
They're
National
globes.
Association of Scholars calling for the removal of the Harvard president, Claudine Gay.
Not gonna
but the
happen.
problem, she's never going to be removed. She is never, and I'm going to tell you why, Tom. Here's the reason why. Number one, and I'm going to see if you can follow along. There are three reasons.
Okay.
Number one, she's gay.
Right.
Yeah, not
Number
just her
two,
name.
Tom.
Not just her name.
Number two would be
African American.
African American. Number three would be
liberal.
She's a woman.
Oh, well,
That's
well,
the
there you go.
trifecta. She's never going to be removed,
Mm-mm.
even if she's wrong. By the way, they've now come out and said that her whole thesis, she stole it.
Mm-hmm.
She plagiarized it.
Did she really?
She plagiarized the whole damn thing. They're never going to get rid of her because of those three reasons that I listed. They're not going to get rid of her. And the House Rules Committee is considering a resolution to formalize the impeachment of Donald Trump. That could happen as early as today. And they say if it happens as early as today,
you mean
that they can start the procedures
Joe Biden
soon as 2024. Did I say Trump? Joe Biden. Yes,
yeah.
Joe Biden. So if that's the case, they could start the procedures as soon as 2024, which is pretty. I'm not going to get my hopes up. I am not going to get my hopes up. And the only reason I'd like this to happen, because he's never going to be removed from office. Because I think there is a bunch of information that would come out. That's the only reason I'm holding out hope. All right, we're going to talk about abortions coming up next. Tom on the text, 877-396-W105. Morning show this morning being brought to you by Seminole Siding and Construction, trusted name across Southeast New Mexico. Exceptional service. They offer siding. If you need a brand new roof, they can accommodate that. Shingle roof, metal roof. They can take care of your metal buildings. They offer two different types of metal buildings, the commercial and the industrial metal buildings. Of course, they can take care of all your windows, all your doors. You name it, they do it. They offer great customer service. And I've talked about, they self-inspect the job after it's done to make sure it's done up to their expectations. Give them a call, 575-391-1430. Find them on the web at SeminoleSidingAndConstruction.com. Tom on the text.
This text says, we need to quit treating the Second Amendment like it gives us rights. It says the government cannot infringe on our rights.
Yes.
Says the texter. And this one, I'm reading it. What's an FLL dealer? What is that? Firearms?
FFL is a federal firearm.
Okay. And this text says, I'm a federal firearms dealer and a hardcore right-wing Republican, and y'all need to stop? All right. It goes on to say, you are fear-mongering. You're so far off your facts, he says. Please don't talk about stuff you don't know anything about.
Please do explain.
Right.
Please do explain.
That was the story on Fox News.
Yeah.
Like we read it almost word for word.
Yeah.
Here's I'm looking at the screen right now. ATF proposal on firearm sales could criminalize millions of gun owners. The NRA is warning. By the way, I also have a copy of the NRA press release, and it says the same thing. So I don't know who I'm fear-mongering, but that's according to the National Rifle Association.
Mm-hmm.
So are you accusing the National Rifle Association of fear-mongering? It's their story. It's not my story.
Mm-mm. Anyway, the texter goes on to say, he says, I feel like I'm watching CNN. Okay. Says this particular text.
Hey.
Well,
I agree with Tommy.
Yeah. And this one B's to you. TMI, B, on the, PENIS thing, says the text.
You can say that word, Tom.
It's
a nasty word.
It is not. It's a
medical term.
It's an anatomy term.
Well, then say it the other way.
Penis.
Yeah. It's like saying it the other way.
There is no other way to say it.
Well, there's several.
Penis, that's how you say it.
Well, there's several.
That's the only way to say it.
Can't.
Penis.
How about the nasty ones?
But that doesn't. That's not what it says. It has
It's a
the
penis.
factual term.
Hey, don't cut the word short, okay? It's penis.
Nasty.
What's the matter with
not.
you? It's not nasty. It's a medical term.
Oh, whatever.
By the way, every male has one. I don't want to get into your pronouns. I'm just saying. All right, straight up 9 o'clock, KWMW, Malgimore, 105.1 FM, and the Breakfast Club morning show this morning being brought to you by Randy Pettigrew, State Representative, District 61. This governor, by goodness, just when you think we're going to take a break, the craziness begins again.
Doubles down.
The governor comes out with new legislation. The way that we're going to defeat violence in this state. And by the way, it's not by keeping the criminals in prison.
And since when does the governor do that?
Yeah, it's not just the governor, but it's definitely the liberals. But Randy is going to be up there battling this governor again when it comes to our Second Amendment rights.
Mm-hmm.
Randy will be up there fighting for your Second Amendment rights and fighting to put this governor in check again. Last legislative session, there were 5 gun legislations. And if I'm not mistaken, I think only 1 passed. Yes, 1 was one too many, but it could have been a lot worse. So when the Republicans go up there like Randy does, we're outnumbered. The Democrats far outweigh the Republicans. So we have to cross the aisle and work with some conservative Democrats. And I know a lot of people think, well, there is no such thing as, but there is. There are people that are more conservative than some of the ultra-left socialist Democrats. And so Randy will fight for our way of life, our oil and gas, protecting the unborn, and the Second Amendment rights. He's up for re-election and needs your help. If you can give to his campaign, go to the website, randallpettigrew.com. And just a reminder, if you need help dealing with the state, he can help you. Go to the same website for all the contact information, randallpettigrew.com. Taking a break. We're coming back. 9:03 KWMW, Malgimore, 105.1 FM. We'll talk about how many abortions. Has the abortion rate gone up or down since Roe versus Wade? Since it's been overturned. We'll get to that coming up next.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Another report that inflation is slowing down. The Labor Department's Consumer Price Index of what Americans are paying for goods and services.
Month over month for November, up 0.1%. Year over year at 3.1%, down just a fraction from last month's read of 3.2%.
Chuck Stoney with Fox Business. Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky meets with members of Congress and President Biden in Washington today. Both presidents are asking Congress to approve more aid for Ukraine's war against Russia. Republicans want that tied to more U.S. border security.
This is a tough sell to convince some on Capitol Hill to give Ukraine more money after they've already shelled out $118 billion of taxpayer cash to the country. So President Biden is bringing Ukrainian President Zelensky here to make the case for why they need more money.
Fox's Hillary Vaughn in D.C. Presidents Biden and Zelensky hold a joint press conference at 4:15 p.m. Eastern. America's listening to Fox News.
You've imagined that perfect home, designed it in your mind. At Destiny Real Estate, it's dreams that we provide. We buy or sell residential ranches, lots and more. Call Rhonda Burns at Destiny and let her tell you more.
If you're looking to rent, please join our website at www.destinyluxuryrental.com. I've got everything from a little 2-bedroom all the way up to a 10,000 square foot home with an indoor swimming pool. Again, that's destinyluxuryrental.com. And I'm needing some more homes. If you're wanting to make a little extra income, just give me a call. Rhonda Burns, 575-257-3000. At Destiny Real Estate, our business is built on dreams and imagination. Telephone 575-257-3000.
Call Rhonda Burns at Destiny and let her tell you more. Call Rhonda Burns at Destiny and let her tell you
If you need an aggressive, experienced personal injury attorney who is honest and true, you need to get the Gorilla.
So I'm 23 years old. I worked at a warehouse, and I took an injury which caused the amputation of my right leg. I was approached by a specific firm, and they turned my case down within 5 minutes. I was told to come visit the Gorilla Law Firm, and immediately they saw potential in my case. And I tell you what, Gorilla Law Firm had my back when no one else did. The Gorilla Law Firm made me a multi-millionaire. And if you're injured, you call the Gorilla Law Firm too.
The Gorilla Law Firm, 3130 North Grimes and Hobbs, or call 575-964-2720.
'Tis the season to give. Carlsbad Chevrolet has teamed up with the Faith, Hope, and Love Foundation to give back to the community and raise money for the Christmas shop. Now through December 15th, Carlsbad Chevrolet will donate $100 from every vehicle sold to the Faith, Hope, and Love Foundation. And with a lot chock full of beautiful new and pre-owned vehicles, it's never been easier to drive away knowing you've made a positive impact on a child's holiday. Make the season unforgettable for everyone. Head for Carlsbad Chevrolet because together we can make a real difference. 2155 South Canal.
Sutherland's of Carlsbad is here for all your home improvement and DIY projects. Visit Sutherlands.com for how-to tips and guides. Skip the hassle. Buy online and pick up in-store for free at 2101 South Canal in Carlsbad. From hardware, lumber, cabinets, and plywood to fencing, power tools, and furniture, Sutherland's has what you need for the job, plus great financing options. Sutherland's, helping Americans build it better since 1917.
OMG, is that actually an egg frying on my hood?
No, I'm thinking maybe all those bugs stuck to your grill starting to cook. Ugh, hard to say. I can't see through the layers of desert dirt all over my windshield.
Wait, what is this? Am I pulling into a car wash? Oh, yeah!
We're gonna get so wet! Hey, we clean up nice.
Visit your local area Mighty Wash in West Texas, Hobbs, Carlsbad, and now open in Lovington, New Mexico. Be sure to ask about the Mighty Wash Unlimited plan, good at any Mighty Wash. Visit MyMightyWash.com for pricing and locations.
This Hobbs Eagles Sports Update is brought to you by America Supply in Hobbs, locally owned and operated, and a proud supporter of Hobbs Eagles athletics.
Looking for oil field, industrial, and safety supplies? Go to America Supply. Need cleaning supplies? America Supply has that too. How about restaurant and food truck supplies? Are you beginning to see a trend here? America Supply carries everything from H2S and quad monitors, fire extinguishers and first aid kits, to safety glasses, vests, FR clothing, fall protection, and gloves of all types. They have your slings and whip checks, your lift straps and cam locks, your adapters, pipe fittings, and threaders. They have many name brands like Lockout, Tagout, Pelican, Milwaukee, Rigid, and so many more. Visit America Supply to find exactly what you're looking for and then some. 502 North Grimes and Hobbs under the Big American Eagle, or call 575-393-3383.
After losing their season opening game to Lubbock Monterey, the Hobbs Lady Eagles had reeled off 6 victories in a row, and last week were ranked as the #1 team in Class 5A. Last weekend, the Lady Eagles were at the Armendariz tournament and took it for the second year in a row. Coach Joe Carpenter.
We're a lot more experienced than we were last year and the year before, I'll tell you that. So we did a really good job. The girls played really hard, and it was a lot of fun. I thought the last 3 halves of the tournament we played pretty good basketball.
And Coach, some of our girls also brought home some hardware.
Bryn Hargrove was the MVP of the tournament. Brett Clay and Kendall Cunningham both made all tournament. All 3 of them, as well as the other 7 kids, played extremely well. We're the Hobbs Lady Eagles. We're not individuals. I just love all my kids.
The Lady Eagles will now have an 8-day layoff and will be back in action on December 19th when they host Centennial at Tasker Arena.
This has been your Hobbs Eagles Sports Update, brought to you by America Supply, 502 North Grimes and Hobbs, or call 575-393-3383.
Over the rainbow. Oh, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. Waiting for the light. Waiting for the light.
Be in the Breakfast Club. Powered by Carlsbad Chevy and broadcasting from the Inn of the Mountain God Studio.
I want to wake America up.
877-396-W105. Good news of the day on the way. Tradio just around the corner. We'll keep you updated with everything throughout the day that is going on. Our number 877-396-W105. Tom A is in charge of the text line. That's what he does, and he's in charge.
All right, so John Boy is saying this morning, you know what? I'm okay with splitting New Mexico in half. The North, well, they can take a hike. Especially Santa Fe, says the texter.
Huh. And another text was, what's that, B? We have another text saying that spending some time with Ron DeSantis on the campaign trail has convinced Chris Sununu that he needs to endorse Nikki Haley, says the text. A lot of people still not made up their mind on that deal, though. And by the way, Tom,
because they don't want either one of them.
Right.
Thank you for the.
I don't know why they're running for. By the way,
thank you for the comments, Tom. We can't live without him.
No, we can't. And Tommy in Carlsbad is saying the swamp, our government has been laundering our tax money, funding wars that we should not be funding for as long, as I can remember. Operation Desert Storm is one example. It looks like the objection of fundraising wars would be for them to win, but the objection of our government is to launder our tax money and ruin the America's economy.
Well, it is to keep the war machine fed.
Mm-hmm.
And the war machine makes billions upon maybe even trillions.
Yep.
And feeds, what is it, 5 or 6 families? Major, and they make the money.
That is true.
And our kids end up getting killed.
Right, at the expense of our military people. That's right.
Looks like Cardi B confirming that her and the rapper Offset have broken up again. Oh, which means Cardi must really believe that Offset was messing around with another WAP. I think that's what it means. And of course, WAP means whapper. Right? What that means?
That is the
they
way
ought to
Elmer
go on
Fudd
Jerry
says.
Springer. If Jerry Springer was on, they should go on Jerry Springer.
Hey, you know who else would probably say whapper? Congressman from the 3rd District of New Mexico.
That's
Yes.
right. Ledger.
Teresa.
Right up around.
Ledger Fernandez.
She listens to the WAP
The
music.
chica that speaks Spanish.
You get rid of her.
Well,
if you want to talk about cultural appropriation, there's a real good example.
Yeah, she's trying to steal. Yeah, most definitely. Looks like Christmas Vacation has reunited. The cast members got together in New Jersey, of all places. Chevy Chase, Randy Quaid, Beverly D'Angelo all got together over the weekend. Did you know Randy Quaid's wife?
What about her?
Was in that movie?
No, I didn't.
Mary Glenn?
Mm-mm.
I had no idea she was in that movie.
Mm-mm.
Who was she?
Was she the wife of him in the movie?
She played Randy's wife in the movie also.
Okay, makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was easy for her to go from there. All right, abortions in New Mexico. Are we up or down?
I'm going to say we're up.
Yeah, since the U.S. Supreme Court. Yeah, the 2022 Dobbs versus Jackson decision overturned Roe versus Wade.
Mm-hmm.
The number of abortions in New Mexico has soared. More than tripled, according to the recent study by the pro-abortion institute, the Guttmacher Institute.
Kill your babies here.
New Mexico abortions are legally up to the date of birth for any reason. No protection whatsoever for mothers and babies or medical professionals who don't want to do the abortions. They can be penalized. So we have gotten people from all kinds of states. I mean, states that, up to birth.
Even on the way out. Like being born.
Yeah, I mean, the baby could be like out and the mother's like, no, I don't want it. And I always like to remind people that are over the top when it comes to at birth abortions. Why not just say at 5 years old? I mean, the mother gets tired of the kid and she's like, I don't want it, abort it. I know I'm over the top there, but I mean, at what point, what point do we stop? I mean, if you're going to kill a baby at birth, why not 5? But the number of abortions in this state, a 279% increase in state abortion rate since 2020. That's what they're saying.
Well, the governor said, come here and kill your babies.
Yeah.
Yep. 32,000 unborn children across the country per year have been saved, where they're being here we're triple the abortion rate. Crazy. Satanic temple. Now, I always say be careful what you ask for when we talk about freedom of religion, because if we practice freedom of religion, then other religions can practice freedom of religion. And in this case, the Satanic Temple installed a demon goat statue across from a holiday display at the Iowa State House, and they have every right to do so.
And actually, that statue is not just a demon. That's Beelzebub.
Oh, yeah. Now, this happened in Arkansas when I lived in Arkansas. They put up the 10 Commandments.
Right.
And they took it, the same group took it to court, and they have every right to put up their own statue. Now, the 10 Commandments, that's just something. I don't know if that could even, I mean, it's religious, but couldn't the Muslim religion live by the same commandments? Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, covet another man's wife. I mean, why would they want to anyway? I mean, they can have multiple wives.
Right.
I'm just saying that loud to myself.
And
okay?
it doesn't say anything about goats, so they're good.
No.
Right.
Tucker Carlson on the Trump prosecution says you're going to get violence if you keep this stuff up.
Poking the bear.
So Tucker Carlson spoke loudly about you keep prosecuting Trump, you're going to get violence eventually from the American people.
Well, maybe that's what they want.
You know who was on the Tucker Carlson show last night?
I didn't watch it. Who's on?
The guy that was kicked off of Twitter and is back on Twitter, Alex Jones.
Oh, that's right.
So Alex Jones is back on. Look, Alex Jones is a goofball concerning some things. He's a little over the top, but he's right about a lot of things, and he's been right about things that they tried to cast him off as being a goofball. And he's been right about multiple things that people like, oh, come on, it can't happen. It did. Alex Jones. So, and why kick him off of Twitter?
Well, that was back when Twitter was run by the people who were silencing opposing voices.
Yeah, we can't have any opposing voices. Oh, hell no. Can't have that. Tom on the text.
All right, baby killers. This is Tommy. And abortion doctors should be charged with murder, he's saying. And we definitely agree about that. And I remember in South Texas that the Church of Satan had put up billboards against drug use, says the texter.
Hey, like B said, if you have freedom of religion, that's every religion.
Yeah, every.
Yeah. And everybody chant refrain from Ukraine, says this one texter. And
you don't like Ukraine?
Right, they don't like Ukraine. And thou shalt not covet the neighbor's goats.
That's the Muslim one.
That's the Muslim one. B.
Or the neighbor's wife, Tom. Or the neighbor's husband. Or the neighbor's transsexual. Whatever the case is.
Yeah.
So my lovely wife went and got my medication today. And every time she goes, it freaks them out that I want a 30-day supply of medication.
Okay.
But people will go buy one pill at a time because they don't have enough money. And here's my 30-day medication for my blood pressure,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm thinking about. I got to get to a doctor to cut this down. But this is $3.50, a 30-day supply. Same medicine. Cost me $50 in Louisiana.
Wow.
I pay $0 here.
Well,
Not for that.
Oh, yeah. My copay, $0.
you have a zero copay.
Oh, yeah.
You must have. Will must have changed the insurance because our copay was $10 and
Look,
$20.
And let me tell you, that depends on the medication. Like
What's
my wife's
generic
dementia
or not?
medicines,
Yeah.
there is no cap. Like I pay
Yeah.
for all of it.
Wow, that
Wow.
sucks.
That's lousy
All right,
insurance,
two more
huh?
stories
No.
before we do the good news of the day. Colombia has legalized personal doses of cocaine. So they've legalized recreational cocaine. Look, Colombia has been using cocaine for centuries. It's like a normal thing in Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
So if you possess up to a gram of cocaine, you're not going to jail. It's legal. I mean, if you want to stay up all night, you can possess 1 gram of cocaine and not go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
So Colombia legalizes possessing personal dose of cocaine. And Aaron Rodgers expected to medically be cleared and be back for the Christmas Eve game. Me, I personally say, why?
Right.
Why the Jets suck anyway?
Yeah,
they are 5-8. They beat
they won't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And so
Come back next year.
Right.
Come back
Even
next
if they
year.
win
And
out, they can't make
is
the playoffs.
Yeah, they'll be
old.
9-8. So
How old is Aaron Rodgers?
38 years old.
Yeah, let's say he's pushing 40.
Yeah, I mean, dude, take the time to mend. He says that natural remedies is got him to where he needs to be.
Okay.
I guess it's those mushrooms.
Yeah. They're magic.
Yes. Authorities announced that they arrested over a dozen child sex traffickers in a 3-day multi-agency operation. Undercover agents and detectives posing as minors offering sex for pay. They arrested 19 people in California. By the way, the Attorney General of California said, we will not stand for this.
They
You know what's
should abort-
amazing?
They should abort those people.
Yeah. It wasn't California the same state that passed legislation that allowed men to be with younger boys?
Yeah, they did.
And they set the age limit as like, I can't remember the exact, but men could be with young boys or young girls, but we will not stand for this. Thank you, California, for standing up. By God, thank you. And a grandmother is accused of shooting a 6-month-old, it's her 6-month-old granddaughter. This happened in Ohio, Liberty Township. Authorities say the grandmother is under arrest after deliberately shooting a 6-month-old granddaughter in the face. Here's part of the problem. The grandmother is 43 years old. Desiree Harris shot her granddaughter in the face. What was the reason behind shooting a 6-month-old? I mean, what could a 6-month-old do to you? By the way, the baby girl underwent 2 surgeries. She remains in critical condition, and grandmother remains locked up. Thank God for the little things. Tom on the text, please.
All right. So we the people need to vote that crazy Democrat governor out of office and out of New Mexico and put her back in the sewer where she belongs, says one of the texters. And by the way, B, we do have an update on that traffic now. It is now moving now on 128. That happened earlier this morning. And so the starting to move traffic on 128 on that one. And by the way, Tommy in Carlsbad says California and New York should be cut loose from the U.S. of America. If they want to be so far right, shooting, let them just have it. I mean, don't try to take it with us, says Tommy in Carlsbad.
So what you're saying, Tommy, we ought to take California, because I'm always hearing about this stolen land, and tell Mexico, we'll just give California back to you.
Yeah.
Well, it seems, wasn't one of the like Escape from LA with Kurt Russell? Didn't they have like a wall around California where it was a big prison?
Yeah.
I don't remember the movie, but yeah.
That's a good start.
Yeah.
And did they
we got a lot of people that are moving out of California to other states,
right,
who don't think like those Californians, and that's why they're leaving. And for those people, I say, get out while you can.
But if they would have just stood up to California, they wouldn't have to go.
But they're outnumbered.
Yeah, I guess they are. All right, quick check of the weather. Then we're going to do the good news of the day. Quick check of the weather being brought to you by Atlas Makeup Mirror. Rebecca Long, find her today at atlasmakeupmirror.com. When you go to the website, make sure and use the discount code W105, because that's going to save you 20%. So 20% off when you use discount code W105. Atlas Makeup Mirror is like no other mirror on the market today. And I can sit here and I can say that because Rebecca Long, before she invented the Atlas Makeup Mirror, she went and tried to find a makeup mirror. Her design was not to get in the business of making the Atlas Makeup Mirror. Her idea was, I'm going to find a great Atlas makeup mirror. I'm going to find a great makeup mirror. But she discovered there were none that were really good on the market. So it became her life mission to come up with the mirror that she could take when she traveled and then market that mirror. And she has done. Look, recently she met Kevin Harrington. And Kevin was the shark on Shark Tank. He loves the Atlas Makeup Mirror. They put together a commercial, and it is being broadcast all over Texas right now. The goal was to take the Atlas Makeup Mirror, take that thing national. But in the meantime, if you're in Hobbs or Carlsbad at Albertsons, you get the 20% discount when you buy from Albertsons right now. And if you're in Midland and Odessa, yeah, they've got the Atlas Makeup Mirror at the Market Streets locations. Find them on the web, atlasmakeupmirror.com. Rebecca Long, get in touch with her today. Tom, wrap up the text. Boob up next.
All right, so this one last text says, Texas should build a wall to keep in their brood mares, says this one texter. Whatever that means. Those are horses, right?
Yeah, but they're talking about pregnant women.
Oh, my goodness.
From coming to New Mexico for abortion.
Okay. B?
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah.
I can always count on you. When I say quickly to do just one, I can always count on you. Thank you for the little things in life. All right, let's get to the good news of the day, being brought to you by Farmers Insurance Agent Herschel Rustin Hayes, Avenue D in Lovington. 575-396-0513. He is your Farmers Insurance Agent right across the street from Bob's Thriftway in Lovington. Herschel Rustin Hayes, 575-396-0513. Proud sponsor of the good news of the day.
So the Arizona Daily Star, a newspaper, is doing something fun for the holidays. It's a good newspaper, by the way. One page of each issue is free wrapping paper. They're doing it every day this week, and also did it last week. So, and the way they're doing it is each day they have a different design done by a local artist in Tucson, where the paper is. So it's like a whole one page that you can use to wrap presents. Then there's a guy in Kansas named Michael Russell who is channeling his inner Clark Griswold again by decorating his home with more than 100,000 lights. And in case you're keeping track, that's 4 times of what Clark Griswold used in Christmas Vacation. He's been doing it for about 15 years and says it takes about 3 months to set it all up.
Dang.
And people in the community, of course, call it the Griswold House. And he expects about 8,000 visitors this month. And there's a photo of it, and it looks like a giant light bulb.
Neighbors gonna love him.
Yeah. He takes up all the power on the street and keeps them awake at night,
I guess.
And finally, there is a warehouse that was filled with donated Christmas toys near Nashville that got destroyed by a tornado Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
The roof and walls were basically gone. But somehow, most of the gifts survived the tornado. The charity behind the toy drive called it a Christmas miracle. And that is your good news of the day.
Good news of the day being brought to you by Herschel Rustin Hayes. Find him today. I never forget when the guy who invented Popeye's fried chicken, Al Copeland, was alive. He would put together this Christmas decorations that was just crazy. And the neighbors hated him because people would come and go through the neighborhood. Traffic would be backed up. The police eventually shut it down because they said it was a hazard. Just for having the Christmas spirit. Dang. And no, he didn't give out any free fried chicken. Nothing like that. All right, Tom, quickly go ahead and give me one more.
We're caught up, brother.
Thank you. God bless you guys. All right, Tradio is up next. A look at news first, being brought to you by Roach Air Conditioning and Heating. They can take care of your heating and air conditioning needs. Call Enrique today, 575-631-1999. He's the guy that we go to for all our air conditioning needs. So if you've got heating problems or, you got heating and air conditioning problems, it could take care of everything. That number again, 631-1999. Call him today. Tradio up next. We'll be back tomorrow for the Wednesday Hub Day edition of BM The Breakfast Club. We're out of here. It's 9:30.
NTD Radio News being brought to you by Griffin's Electric, serving Carlsbad for